And now, even though I am such a good person at doing this, I will eventually one day start up a stream, and I'll probably start when I say I'm going to start, and that'll be actually be like a one co- cold days in hell. They always
You did
say.
that a couple weeks ago, I think, or like a month ago when I was
I
first
started
on.
on time.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah.
Huh? That's a shock. Hey, hey, we
Or you
just
gave me the
started.
link late. Either way.
Just to let everybody know, this is Killer Orange Cat, and again, I'm joined by Amber Duff. We're going to stream. I'm going to personally stream from about 7 to maybe around 11, because then I'll probably get ready to go to the gym to work out. And but you don't have to feel pressure to stick around any longer than you want to. Um, so everyone's saying hi. So hi, Jessica. Hello, Nightmare Files and Claire. Hello, Anonymous. That's an interesting one. Oh, thank you for loving the streams. Hey, Rainbow, how you doing? But yeah, like my sister, like Evil Black Cat says, no one ever starts when they say they will. Is communism worth a try? Um, no. I don't. I kind of like things the way they are. I don't know. What do you think? Is communism worth a try?
Eh, I like things the way they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
they may be fucked up, but
yeah, they wouldn't be any less if with a different system. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
what are you working out today? Well, I'm going to do 55 minutes of cardio on an elliptical machine. After that, I'm going to do most upper body weightlifting. I'll probably be there for about 2 hours. So, today was your active recovery day. Well, the Nightmare Files active recovery day. Enjoy that. It's not mine. So, I'd say for just the record, I absolutely don't like doing cardio, but I have to do it. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it the absolute best that I can. So my killer torty says meow. Oh, kitty cat beauty. I'm trying to get everybody. It's going real fast already. Jessica loves the elliptical. Communism is bad, but we could use a little universal health care in the USA like every other first world country.
Mm.
No, I'm just reading comments, so I haven't really put my opinion out there. But I hit cardio after I lift. See, I can't do that. I can't lift weights and do cardio right afterwards. When I do cardio, I want to be as energized as possible. Because I really just really hit it like really hard. I have people. Uh, there's a guy just a couple weeks ago that when I was done with my cardio and I stopped and took my earbuds off, he just yells across the gym at me, "That was badass." So, it's I do it really, 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 really as much as I can. So, I mean, I put my absolute full effort to it for 45 minutes, 10 minutes of a cool down. Um, but I also use the rowing with my arms. So, nope, I figure if I'm going to do it, might as well do it right and put your all into it. That's what I usually try to do everything for. I like the elliptical machine for my ass. Miriam Reed's big fan. Shout out to Miriam and Matthew. Well, I guess I just did that by reading. So shout out to Miriam and Matthew then. Hey, and there's John Papa. It's nice to see it's 2 hours on the elliptical. Wow. I'd off my hat to Kitty Cat Beauty, who does it more than I do. Hello, Dark Siren. But no, I have this thing in my family. My family tends to get a lot of weight on them and usually pretty easily. So I try my best to do as much exercise as I can to prevent that from happening. Because I've been pretty big at one point. There was one point where I got up to over 210 pounds because they had me on this medication that made me so hungry I couldn't stop eating anything. It's like I remember, uh, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I would sometimes get up and I would go over to the Burger King down the street because Burger King at that time was doing this like two chicken sandwiches for $2 thing. And if you ever eat their chicken sandwiches, they're loaded with fat and calories. I come home, eat those, sit around for a little bit, start to get anxious. I'm still hungry, so maybe I'd run off to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get like a meal for four people, and just sit there and eat that, and then still be hungry and run out again, and buy this big family sized like apple crumble. I think that's what you call it, but and come home and drink. And I would drink that. I would eat that like on a daily basis. So thank God they took me off that medication. I'm still waiting on Phantom. Yes, I was just talking to him on Twitter. Uh, I should probably let him know that that's why I might not be. Oh no, no, I told him the live stream was going on, so he'll show up and he'll make jokes and it'll be funny.
If you wouldn't have messaged him, I would have messaged him. So he'll,
Yeah.
if he's
Him
not
and I were
busy.
talking about him and I were talking about an hour before he came here. Oh look, I got a dislike already. I always get that one like really quick, and then it just stays one for a while, or somebody will put another dislike on it when I talk about the dislike. So I'll have two, and they'll take it away.
I
Smart
think they're
asses,
just being trolls.
which is fine. I have to admit I was a little uh, upset about the grinder video getting a lot of dislikes for video from me. I don't get a lot of dislikes. Uh, Usually somewhere between 3 and 10. And the grinder video got 15 like really quickly, and then 20. So I think it's sitting on 20 and has been sitting on 20 for a few days now, but it still kind of bothered me that that one got so many dislikes very quickly. Again, not complaining, it just kind of disheartened me just a little bit. I
Yeah,
really
well, I
like
mean,
that
that
video.
makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
you put a lot of effort into a video and people don't like it. It's like, well, why? What's wrong with it? Like,
Well, it's not it's more that it was a video where all three stories were submitted by gay men. So that's kind of what bothered me, that the one I have like that would be the one that got
yeah, I
that.
guess
But
in
who
this
knows?
day and age, people still aren't that accepting.
Well, they're getting better. I mean, most of the comments on the video were really good, and that's something I wanted to mention too. I was gonna let everybody know that, because I think most people probably knew that this past Wednesday was my birthday, and it was just really great. I had like one of the most wonderful birthdays that I've ever had. I started out, I wake up and I look into my YouTube and I see a spike in views because I always look at the analytics. I'm like, huh, what's going on there? And I see that and I'm a little confused, and it takes a while until finally I see a comment where someone's like, "Oh, Mortis Media sent me over." And I'm like, "Yeah, I bet he did something." So, and thank you for the happy belated birthday. But yeah, it was Mortis Media had put in as a request in his video the day before for people to comment to my latest video and wish me a happy birthday, and that was very nice of him to do. That really made my day. I was trying to answer all the happy birthday things. I've never had so many people wish me a happy birthday, so it was a great birthday present. He's really a nice guy. I liked the grinder video, but it was hard to listen to. How can people be so mean to others? Uh, I don't know. I wish I knew. I think people probably been wanting to figure that out for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much. It's one of those
And
things I
thank
don't
you,
think
Kitty Cat.
anybody will ever figure out.
Right. I mean, it's. I know that people do get like a sort of a adrenaline rush from it, which I guess adrenaline rushes, as you know, can be addicting.
Yeah.
But I personally just don't get it myself. I've never been. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I can't say I've never picked on anybody. I mean, I think all kids to some degree pick on somebody. I mean,
Oh yeah.
my sister listening to the chat would probably tell you when we were kids, I did pick on her quite a bit.
Yeah, but that's
That's
different though.
people, right? Go ahead.
I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
that's different from like, I mean, unless there's true genuine malice there, sibling or friend picking on is totally completely different from bullying.
Right.
There's a big difference. At least I hope people would realize the difference.
But the yeah. um the it's strange, I remember in my high school they did a newspaper article where two students were interviewed for the school newspaper. They changed their names. One was gay, one was bi, and I remember actually walking by a group of people who had read the newspaper and said, "Oh my God, we're gonna find that guy and like hang him from a tree." And I'm like, "What the hell? You living back in the Middle Ages or something?" No, man,
Wow.
maybe not. Maybe not. The Middle Ages are more tolerant. I got into a bit of an argument because I did stop when they said that. I'm like, what is your problem? A gay guy doesn't do anything negative to you. So I thought the grinder video was pretty good. My only issue is that a lot of the horror stories on YouTube tend to be about the same subjects lately. Most stalkery, creepy, molesty guys.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
I try really hard to find other things, but when you're doing true stories, you are very limited. Fiction, I mean,
Yeah.
for me personally, I prefer creepy pastas over to the true stories.
But I
There's
find
so
though
much more
even
you can do.
well, I find even the fiction is all about just like mainly like weird creatures popping out of your closet and attacking you, and
Hmm.
that's I haven't seen many like diverse subjects in that area either. So I mean, it's just it is what it is, I guess.
Hmm. Oh my God, you said that phrase.
What?
You said it is what it is. You don't know about it's fine. And I'm not going to be critical, but I've always had a little bit of an issue with that phrase.
Why?
It kind of, to me, it is what it is. It is what it
Everybody
is. And
uses it.
I know, but it's like you're acknowledging you can't change something. And I don't believe that. I believe you can change anything if you work for it. It's only when you give up that it becomes what it is.
Yeah, but
Because
I mean, remember, this is coming from somebody that doesn't narrate or write. So, I mean, you know.
mostly I see it when somebody uh, has something negative happen to them. Though is what I mean. For
Mm,
example, if someone steals
yeah,
something from, oh, it is what it is. Well,
I can see
actually,
that.
it's not.
I mean, you
But
got to
yeah,
make the best out of life that you can. I mean, change the situation you're in if it's dragging you down or making you not happy.
I think I first saw it in a wasn't in a classroom where someone got a bad grade and it is what it is. I'm like, no, it's not.
Well, then he's just
Do better next
dyslexic.
time. Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
do
if
better
somebody
next
doesn't
time.
want to, you
Oh,
can't
look at his
force them,
phantom.
though.
Hey, Phantom of Darkness is here. We know that with Phantom of Darkness here, the chat will probably get a lot more interesting. Not that it wasn't interesting already. So it is what it is, and just saying aren't my favorite sayings. No, I will tell you what. It is what it is can get on my nerves a little bit when I hear just saying I want to strangle somebody.
Oh, you this
Ooh.
is why like those are the two like prominent sayings nowadays it seems.
Mm-hmm. All right. It's a. I'm sorry. I just looked over. Kitten fell asleep. He was having a bit of a hissy fit earlier, and now he's sleeping.
Is that the
But
one that last week was like fussing big time?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
He was doing it again, and I put him on a pillow, and the pillow, I guess, overwhelmed him, and the power of the pillow has caused him to go to sleep now.
Hopefully he stays
Phantom of
sleeping for
Darkness
a bit.
says, "Look at that." Phantom of Darkness says, "I say just saying a lot. Kick him from the room. Kick him from
Yeah,
the room."
no! Don't kick
No.
him from the room.
Invader Jill, yay, KOC is live. Well, I'm actually on a few seconds delay, but for all intent and purposes, yes. Ashy Slashy, that's the name of that's what they named the little black cat, Ashy Slashy, from uh, a nickname they gave Ash on the Evil Dead Part Two. So he is Ashy Slashy,
Oh, that's cute.
and Scarlet Witch is here. Well, Black Cat says yes, he tends to go mad and then conk out a lot, but that's kittens for you, you know.
Oh yeah. That's any little puppy or kitten or any baby animal.
Hi, Phantom. Okay, KLC, don't make me get out my pepper spray. Hey, Evil Black Cat just realized as a moderator she has the power to kick people. I guess she didn't realize that before.
Hmm.
But you know, speaking of, when we're talking about it is what it is, and just saying, and they're cliches, you know. But that was something I was thinking about right before I started the stream. That I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and you know, watching a lot of YouTube videos, you tend to come across a lot of lists. Usually, you know, top 5, top 15, top 20, top 25, and of course, I listen to the horror ones to get ideas for like topics. So maybe there's a topic that I'll want to go out and find some stories on. And also, I listen to them to make sure that I'm not going to be repeating stories. And sometimes I got to grab my head and just crush it because people just make new videos and they have to show the same footage that we've been looking at for like 5 to 10 years over and over and over again. I mean, how many times can you watch a video and hear someone talks like, and people are still making new videos about it, even though there's no more new information about it. And it
Yeah,
was something that you're like, stop it!
that
Everybody
happens a
knows
lot.
who she is, right? It, it was there was one that I had just seen, and it was like a top 5 something, and they showed something right away. The very first number that we could, you know, it's a countdown. So number 5, and I was so that which had been completely debunked anyways. Was had they had to pick for the number 5. It's like, why, guys? I'm not watching the rest of your video. I can't remember what it was, but I remember Captain Disillusion. Some people knows my favorite YouTube channel. He, no offense to Phantom of Darkness or Mortis Media or anything else. I love you guys, but I don't play favorites with my friends. That's why I don't say that. So
See,
I
I
pick I
do.
pick.
I'm really bad at favorites.
Mm, well, that's why I pick someone I don't know.
Mm.
So that's why I picked not Phantom of Darkness. Ooh, Freudian slip. No, that's why I pick and considered Captain Disillusion my favorite because I will probably never know him personally. So, I mean, I've sent him messages. My sister made a My
You
Little
don't know the
Pony
others
version of him.
personally.
What's that?
You don't know the others personally, or do
Sorry.
you?
Well, I mean,
Or are we cutting
would I
out? You
talk
seem to
to
be
like
cutting out quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if
One of our internets.
I noticed that. So I should probably go check that. Could you think you can hold the fort for a moment?
Well, I'm not looking at the YouTube chat. I don't have that open.
No, it's just you're not looking at watching the chat at all. Well, how about you, Evil Black Cat? Could you join in for a few moments and hold the chat down while I go check the other computer? His computer and see if there's like a torrent running because usually there is. So she'll get the request in a couple of seconds. But yeah, sorry about it. And no Phantom of
Better
Darkness.
definitely not.
I was not saying you suck at narrating. If you thought I felt would even say that you haven't been paying attention ever since I've known you. Because ever since I've known you, I've been telling you that I think you're absolutely one of the best channels and definitely one of the most underrated channels. I mean, Phantom started around the same time that I did. And he's consistent with uploads. I honestly would have thought that he would have that he and don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying his success at all because he's has accomplished quite a bit, but just one of those channels that I thought would be so much bigger. I can't see how anybody personally, I can't see how anybody could listen to one of his videos and not be like, holy shit, I need to subscribe to this guy. So,
I subscribed.
hmm
Well, and it's like it varies with people though. Like I think it all depends on who you know and how you spread the word and stuff. Because I mean, he has quite a few subscribers though.
yeah, oh yeah, he does, and I'm sure, and I'm assuming that he's happy with it. I don't like put words in his
Although
mouth.
to be honest though, if I were doing a YouTube channel, I say this, but I may not mean it if I were actually doing it. But in theory, I would want I would want a few subscribers knowing that they loved what I do, then like, you know, a couple or a bunch of subscribers that, just subscribe so that they can, give you subscribers. They don't listen to your channel or anything, like.
Howdy, John. Oh, see Rebecca Adams. Hello. Rebecca being a good friend of mine. I just had to segue that as I saw. But yeah, you're right. Oh no, I'm really pissed off. No, I've never seen anything. He's really happy, and like you said, he all of his 10,000 subscribers are honestly active, and that's what I care about the most. See, that I don't really have that. I may have a lot more subscribers, but a lot of them are inactive.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
then again, it's also
I don't talk to any of you on YouTube, but I do talk to you guys on Twitter or Snapchat. I don't actually have you on Snapchat. I have Phantom on Snapchat, but
it's not really worth having me on Snapchat because I don't use it.
I
I,
only have two
I
people on Snapchat, and they're both YouTube narrators.
hmm yeah, everyone. A lot of people want me to do it, but it's just I
See,
sometimes have a difficult time with time.
is it really? Well, yeah, exactly. And the more
that I'm
social
trying to
networks
do.
you get, the worse it
Right.
gets.
And so, yeah, I mean, I can't even, I almost never look at my Facebook, and I feel bad because if I got the Killer Orange Cat Facebook page, I, I should be checking it like every day, but it just slips my mind because I'm doing other stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Dr. Dr. Creepypasta, you'll get active subs the more you work. Keep it up. I'm not as good as you are, Killer Orange Cat. Keep it up. You're doing great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment. No, I'm um um Twisted Tails has blood on his hands. I don't know what that's about. Can't see a cut though. That's kind of creepy. Hope you're okay. Um, I think so. Killer, someone has a question for you. Yeah, some people are asking questions. I gotta apologize. It is difficult for me to to see everything because fortunately I have a lot of people in here and who are listening to me, but I don't do anything but YouTube. Somehow I have days like that too. Oh, I see Evil Black Cat has joined us. Are you vocally there or just Nope, can't hear her. She's there, but we can't hear her. 111. That's evil black cat. She's in here with her Fluttershy riding on a dragon icon, which I think is pretty neat. She probably doesn't get as much crap for that as I get for my Ichigo in a potato bin icon. I still get. Didn't last week when we did this chat, somebody was like was accusing me of
Yeah.
putting the cat in a cage, and it's like, oh come on, guys. Not only have I explained this 25,000 times, but why would they think that I would do that to a cat that is my mascot that I named myself after and everything? So, and Ben is evil. Why aren't links allowed? I was about to leave a link to a Foghat song. I don't know. I don't completely understand uh, why that works. I know that moderators can post links. The technical aspect of all this, I just don't know. Evil Black Cat usually takes care of that for me. I'm not that good at that sort of stuff. I mean, I can figure it out probably if I spend like 25 hours doing it. But if anybody was here on my first stream, it took me like 45 minutes to actually do anything. And in fact, if I remember, I think Rainer and Hitchhiker had joined me, and they were just like talking amongst themselves and everything. You know, and it looks like I heard that.
Still
Did you
nothing?
get? No, I can hear you now. And did you get attacked or something? 45 minutes of frisking. You be quiet. Quiet, you.
That would be fun.
I uh, well, I can't hear you now, but I can hear you in the other room. Don't forget your face reveal. I thought you were sitting in the bathroom. Okay. When I first started doing this, people, of course, they always ask narrators. Most narrators don't show their face, and people were asking for a face reveal, and I found it odd because keep in mind, I it never occurred to me that that would be a thing that anybody would care, or not only that, that it would be a problem. So I did a face reveal at the end of my question and answer video, probably about 3 or 4 months after I started the channel. I mean, people asked, so I did it like right away. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, I think I've mentioned before that I have a bit of vanity. That I'm so vain that I believe the song by Carly Simon
Oh
was written
yeah, we
about
talked
me.
about that all like last week. It's great.
Yep,
I like that song too, by the way.
yep, I love it, and it was written about me before I was born. That's how vain I can be about it. So yeah, it's
Hello.
I think a lot of people
There you go.
there you go. A lot of people have their what do you call it? Their tragic flaw. That I can be I'm very nice usually. I think I'm very warm. I try to help people. You know, I really hard try to help people in the YouTube channels and stuff. So everybody has to have one thing that people know about
Hello.
that's
Whoa.
like their flaw, and the vanity probably would be mine. So I well, not only did I have no problem showing up doing a face reveal, I was like, oh yeah, face reveal. So it was completely fine, and I was sitting in a closet because I was trying to get an area of the house that was quiet. So I sat in the closet and put my laptop on a box, and that's how I did my face reveal. But and just to do before I go on, George Navarro, no, I'm not going to go for 8 hours. The latest I'll go is 11 o'clock Central because then I got to get ready to go work out. So no, but I will try that again one time because that was very fun.
Get off the computer.
But yeah, the cat's on the computer.
Yeah. So you guys hearing me at all?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, good.
So, but yeah, you might want to put earbuds or something on. So
I have
we
them.
don't. So okay, I was
I'm
hearing
trying to
myself
listen
there
to
for a second too. Oh, it's you. Okay, I'll be quiet then. But okay, I'm gonna just let Evil Black Cat take over for this for a second while I go check the other computer in the house to make sure there's not a torrent running. Um, I mean, no,
Woo.
maybe she can tell you about annoying repeating things. I don't know if you remember because that's what I was trying to get. We were watching a video, and it was just a couple days ago, and there was a the first one was something that Captain Disillusion not only had he debunked, but everybody knows was fake, and they were trying
Right.
to pass it off as it was something new, and it was on Top Five's Finest, which is I don't know why I watched the channel because it's just the most clickbaitish thing in the world, but for some reason I keep watching it. And when I watch it, I
Uh-huh.
always tell people, I don't know why I'm watching this. I mean, but there was something they did, and it's gonna bug the hell out of me until I remember their number five. Their number five was like, I just wanted to just strangle them because, like, no, that's been debunked. Nobody believes it except for people.
Well,
Some people might.
they did the one with the girl in the mirror, and that's been debunked like crazy. You know, when the little girl turns her head and the mirror still keeps looking that way.
Right. Oh, that's what it was.
Was that the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it was. If you guys have seen that thank you because that would have bugged me. There's the video with the little Asian girl who's sitting in the room with all the mirrors, and she turns towards the mirror, and as she turns it back, one of the reflections doesn't turn back, and ooh, scary. It's been debunked that people have looked at the video and seen that they use a little green screen, or right in that area, so they were able to like paste because this is still camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been you can use if you have the software to do it, you can watch the video and see that. But not only that, here's the funniest part: the actual original video was never reported to be real. It was on a Japanese television show, and it was never.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah, because um, I didn't think the girl was Japanese though. She did, but it was on a Japanese television show. I thought she looked a little bit more Korean, but
Yeah.
it was a Japanese television show, I believe, and it never purported to be true, but people
Right.
decided to go ahead and take it that way.
Yeah. Somebody
Um,
saw it and was like, "Hey, this is true." Yeah. Jet, get off the computer.
what are my thoughts on
Oh.
Detective Minton's YouTube video? My thoughts are that I've never heard of it. So if you want me to look at it, maybe I will be willing to do that. But I'm going to leave for 1 second to check that other computer. So talk about something interesting. I'll be right
I'm actually
back.
sitting here holding the cat's ass to keep her up off my computer because it's hard to move her because I don't want to hurt her leg. Ah. So what should I be talking about?
I am just answering tweets and stuff. Do you know the tune-in link for this stream on YouTube?
I'm sorry, do I know what?
The YouTube link for people to tune in.
Oh. Cat, can you move your butt? That's a stream link that I just posted. Was that what you wanted?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, I suppose I could. Did he post it on Twitter?
I don't know. He usually does, but I didn't really pay
I
attention.
didn't see it. Let me see. Let's check.
Huh. Mark Hamill tweeted some people wearing panda hats. Good to know. Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay.
Everything taken care of?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, Buffy, don't bark.
So what are you guys talking about that I missed in the past minute that I was going to...
I'm just dealing with tweets, and I'm trying to find the link for...
What's that?
Oh, let me see.
I came back.
How to use Twitter. For the YouTube.
Oh. Well, I didn't...
The tune-in link, I meant.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little lost. But anyhow,
I said I
yeah.
was just dealing with Twitter and trying to find the YouTube link to get people to tune in.
Oh, okay. Oh, for the actual link for the stream, not the link to join the stream.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
I
if they
got it.
want, that'll come later. I don't want to do too much publicizing of that. Because
Oh,
you know
okay, I
we
sent
don't
you
really
the.
want trolls.
All right, I sent you the actual one though. So,
Oh, okay, thanks.
but there we
Hope,
go.
hopefully you
Phantoms.
can't hear my phones when I with my voiceover program here yapping at me.
Well, everything sounds fine.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and here's a hello to Jonathan Alexander. How are you doing? One of my I don't mind saying one of my absolute favorite viewers.
You got a pretty important question over here, KOC.
Do I?
Yeah,
Did I miss something?
Warning Good People says, my cat has started reading and watching Islamic videos on YouTube. What can I do to make sure she isn't becoming radicalized?
Oh, well, I think you just really got to keep an eye on her. And I have a feeling I'm going to say something offensive without meaning to.
I was just going to say make
So,
sure she understands the actual meaning of the Islamic religion and isn't watching stupid stuff that says otherwise.
and don't let her watch too many Roadrunner cartoons.
There you go.
Because if your cat starts watching Roadrunner cartoons, you really got to start worrying, because that's when you got a problem. I'm the best. No, you're the best, but thank you. Oh, Phantom's gonna be honest with us. Oh God, this can't be
He's
good.
not honest with us.
He says he's gonna be
Usually?
honest with us. People always told me to be careful of what you do and don't go around breaking. Oh, I'm gonna hurt him. I'm gonna hurt him. If that's your honesty, I'm gonna hurt you. Lie becomes the truth. Lord. Can we punish him severely or something?
Well, I mean, you could if
Yes.
you really wanted to, which I think you do. So
Yeah, I do kind of give him a really hard time, and Christina, are you aware that your camera's on?
No.
You keep showing up on. You keep
she
showing
sounds
up.
so
So
like offended. She's like,
I
"Oh
don't want
no."
people to see me.
we'll
I've
just
turned
go
it
into.
off a million times. I've got it
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
It makes me do it every time I turn it on. The funny thing is there's no light in here, so I don't think anybody could actually see anything.
Oh, you kind of look like a little demon or something, but it's still doing it.
Oh, that's because I just turned it off now.
Oh, okay. So, there. Well, no, that's me. Hi, Ichigo. Why
Hello.
am I not seeing the icons? I see the icons.
Work with me here, computer.
You're doing it in Google Hangouts, right? That's where you turn it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just turned it off now.
Oh, there you
Still
go.
not?
Well, see, that's weird because in Google Hangouts, your icon is showing, but for some reason on YouTube, they're showing you.
Hold on, let me actually. I don't have the stream even going. I have it paused
Oh,
to save bandwidth.
make Phantoms do KOC's. Wait, well, Phantom did do a story on my Chicago video, which if you haven't seen, I really surely suggest that you do.
Testing.
Think Monty Python. Oh my God.
What about Monty Python?
Artemis says to think Monty Python. But no, on YouTube, you're still
Oh,
showing.
talking about spankings.
Oh, the
I
spanking.
see my icon now.
Well, now it says Christina. No, okay, icon's back now. So, okay.
Okay, good.
So everybody, that was the Evil Black Cat dark face reveal.
I'm actually really curious now because I'm sitting in a funny position. I'm lying on the bed, and I've got my face right by my camera, which has a red light on it. I mean, not camera. I mean microphone. So it probably looked really weird. Plus, Jet kept sticking her butt in the computer, so you might have gotten some cat butt.
Phantom is kind of really obsessed with Michael Jackson at the moment. It
Apparently
seems.
so.
But I guess that's okay. But I mean, like taking over your channel for 3 weeks. I don't know what you mean. I might have missed something. Oh,
Something
never
about
mind.
Phantom taking it over.
Oh no, I like Phantom in the chat. I mean, he's weird, and at least he can sometimes keep it interesting when I'm not talking about anything interesting.
He's entertaining.
But yeah, there was so many things. Other, I want to go back to what I was talking about. Things I just don't
You,
want to hear over and over again
no,
on YouTube. Go
you
ahead.
know now I'm going to have to actually like brush my hair and put some makeup on and do a proper face reveal because I don't want people thinking I look like a demon. So
Oh, okay. Well, keep in mind this is a horror channel. Wait a minute. Wait. Spanking Phantom. Spanking Phantom. We can do that.
I think Phantom could use a good spanking.
You can
Yeah.
do that, you mean?
And see now we're getting now we just got him back for all the Michael Jackson stuff. Oh, here we go. KLC, do you believe in aliens or any YouTube videos that show them? Here's my thoughts on that. I believe there is life on other planets. I think it's extremely mathematically improbable that we are the only life. I mean, when you think about how many, there are like 300 sectillion stars in the known universe. And I mean, that's a number you can't even, your mind would explode if you really try to conceive what that number is. Uh, and they all have, almost all of them probably have planets around them. Just if you know the way stars form and everything. I'm just thinking back to my astronomy classes. I used to really love them. So I believe they're aliens and other planets. Do I believe that they've come to Earth? Not really. I mean, the physics of doing it seem like it would be extremely unlikely, if not impossible. I will concede that we don't know, and it may be a little bit more. It may be a little bit more, just so that we can't quite understand
Talking about.
some sort of propulsion that would be able to get aliens here. But I haven't seen a single video that actually shows an alien that I believe is an alien. Uh, and I sort of get irritated times at some of the ways people act about them. For example, the one that makes me laugh the most is what is it? Skinny Bob. If you guys are
Skinny
familiar,
Bob.
I think that's his name. Is that
What?
alien? It's just obvious. It's obviously CGI, and it's not even that great CGI. But you have like 20,000 people in the comment section talking about Skinny Bob being like, "Well, it's so complicated CGI, and if it's so easy to do, why don't you skeptics do it? Because we don't want to. We know it's fake. Why do we want to spend time recreating it to prove something to people who aren't going to believe what we have to say anyways?
Right.
So it's it's and I'm not trying to look down. And again, I'm very accepting of other people's opinions on things like this. I don't. If you believe, I mean, my mom personally believes that aliens have come to the Earth over and over and over again.
She
I
believes that the Garden of Eden was another planet.
right. I don't diss her for that. It's or anybody. I mean, I don't know everything, and I'm not singing your chats, Phantom. I can't sing, so I would never torment my listeners like that.
You were
But yeah,
singing last week.
well, I know, but I was like, I
It was
was
like
on,
6 in the morning. So.
yeah, I was on like I don't know, some sort of like YouTube high or something at that point. But uh, but again, this is Art says they agree with your mom, which is fine. Now, I'm not gonna here again. Here's what I've always said about people: the things that I look at that I might be critical of are the quote unquote physical proof. Now, when people tell me a story, like they tell me they were abducted by aliens, or a ghost, or they saw a ghost. When someone tells me a story, I give them the benefit of the doubt because I don't know. I wasn't there. Now, if they gave a testimony in a court of law, I would probably go against them. But in just our actions, I'm not going to say, oh, you're wrong, I'm right. That's just not the way I do things. But when someone makes a video of an alien or a ghost or something like that, that personally I will dissect and criticize because they're purporting that to be proof. And when they say this is the proof, it's not just my story, this is the proof, then I will analyze it. Rebecca was prodded once, but it wasn't no alien. Shame on you.
Oh,
Shame,
that's
shame, shame
great.
on you. But yeah, so I could be wrong. I will completely accept that. But one thing I had so much fun one time. Uh, I took this video down
The Adams Family.
out of respect to the people involved. But if you guys remember, and I mentioned this before, there was a little viral thing going on for a while from a video called "Hey Walter, I got a new girlfriend today." Um, where the video showed this guy talking about his girlfriend, and he goes into the basement and he has her locked up in this bathroom, and I did an analysis of the video being fake because I mean, really, it was pretty obviously fake for several reasons. So I dissected it and told why because people were trying to claim that it was real. So once you do that, you claim this proof is real. I say it's open season. And one day this is still the biggest day my channel has ever had. I get up and I'm looking at my analytics and I've got like 70,000 views in one day. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then I have like 300 or 400 comments within the last hour. And I'm like, oh, what? So I go into it and it's from that video. And there are people saying, "Oh, you're wrong, KOC." It's this is this is actual proof that a girl was kidnapped. They found her in the basement. The police are looking into it. There's all these comments telling me how wrong I was, how wrong I was. Then the police come out and say, "We contacted the actors. The video is 100% fake." I'm like, "Ha!" But
See, people are kind of dumb. They need to be really careful when posting shit like that because they could get in trouble and it could be fake and lives could be ruined just for a prank, just for a YouTube prank.
And the funny thing is, if people would do a tiny bit of research, they would have found out that that video is also done by two people who did another channel. I forget, it's called Studio something or other, where the exact same two people in that video, the girl and the guy, made several comedy videos. They actually got in touch with me and asked me if I could, censor the video or take it down because they were upset that something they made for entertainment was being used that way, and they had been unaware that people were taking it seriously because it was just meant for entertainment. And so yeah, I took the video down, even though at the time it would have been my highest viewed video ever. I mean, 70,000
Well, I mean,
views.
if they were decent about it, then
No, they were no, they were very nice about it. They said they were just asking me to. They made it clear they weren't being like, we demand that you take it down. No, they were really nice about it.
I'm recording a kitten battle. This kitten plays right next to me.
Yeah, we have quite a few kittens in the house still.
Yes, you do.
Yep, there are a total of 4 kittens in the house right now.
Wow.
Meow.
See, and you can hear them in the background there.
Yes, we can.
But it's she's gonna make Eagle Black Cat's gonna make a video about them where they are in fighting like evil dogs based off Ash versus the Evil Dead. Pet them for
Ash
me.
evil dogs.
I personally can't pet them because they're nowhere around me. Ichigo's on the couch, just kind of looking around. Drusilla's on the chair over there sleeping. He's been in his chair all day. KO, sing for Phantom. Sing for your boy toy. Oh, okay. So Phantom's my boy toy. I'm not really sure how. Not particularly. Don't particularly know how happy he's going to be when he hears.
Everybody knew this.
Oh my god! There ain't no boy toy. I tell you, he wasn't. No, I was sure that once he heard that, he was going to be like, no. No, Phantom's my whipping boy, and the fact that I tease him all the time and I give him grief, but that's about
See,
it.
yeah, see, you admitted it.
I said whipping boy.
Yeah.
It's like a knight has a squire, and if they want to be mean and like make fun of the squire, Phantom's like the squire.
Aha.
How is Mama Cat doing? And dogs are not evil, killer. Dogs are not evil. Talk to Evil Black Cat about that. She's the one making the video.
No, the cats think they're evil. The dogs aren't really evil. In fact,
Right.
Yeah, how is Jet doing?
my dog's gonna play the dogites, and she's pretty much just gonna be herself.
Am I drunk? No, God, I'm completely and utterly sober at the moment. Well, why would you think I was drunk?
Do you ever
Uh,
get drunk?
huh?
Do you get drunk?
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Hey. Occasionally.
We need this to happen.
But no, I'm completely sober right now of anything. I think if I was drunk, I'd probably be a lot more interesting. Twisted Tales gives us 3 smiles. I figured Phantom was drunk. I wouldn't be surprised. Do I make haikus? No. Um, although the first thing I ever wrote was a haiku, and it was about a bird sticking his beak through somebody's eye.
Ouch.
That was it. I was in the 6th grade when I wrote that, and my teacher was just like, "Oh, so what, are you gonna be the next Stephen King or something?" It's like whenever you wrote anything scary in school, everyone would say you were the next Stephen King.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Yeah,
The cats are fighting mouth to mouth. It looks like they're making out. You guys are brother and sister. Knock it off. I really should name them Jamie and Cersei.
Oh Lord, that's sick. Sick. God, it has Scarlet. Oh, you're talking about Scarlett Johansson's nose. You guys are horrible. Aeromat, KFC, do you believe in ghost souls or any of the YouTube videos that claim to show them? That's a good question. I know that we've kind of answered that before, but a lot of times when we talked about it, we've gotten off course. But here's my thought about that. I believe. Oh, come. Okay, let's start with the YouTube videos first, and we'll work backwards. Now, I don't know about you, Amber. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
I think we talked. You don't. Okay. So obviously, by not believing in ghosts, that means that you believe all the YouTube channels with ghosts are fakes.
Yeah.
I believe in my actual beliefs and everything tend to lean towards Hinduism, where I believe that there's this all-encompassing force in the universe and that we're all a part of it. And that's sort of how I feel. We're all part of the same thing. We're all just little pieces of existence that we'll join back with. So if you want to say that, I kind of believe in like maybe reincarnation, stuff like that. There's only one video on YouTube. Only one video on YouTube that I can't look at that it's a ghost video and say that I know that it was faked, and that is the Horton Mine videos. If you guys have seen those, with the guy who goes into the mine and with the chains, and that one chain starts thinking back and forth, and he goes all the way deep into the mine, and he hears these voices talking. It's kind of like they're talking over a radio, and he gets scared and he leaves. There's reasons why I believe. Okay, let me change. I'm saying I believe it was a ghost. I just don't think he was faking it, whatever it was. It could have been a bat that ran into a bat could have knocked into the chain. He could have been picking up radio signals in several different ways. Radio signals can be picked up through different kinds of metal in certain ways. So that being the case, I don't think he faked it. Do I believe it was a ghost? Probably not. But other than that, either every single video is faked or it's some sort of some natural phenomena or some technical phenomena in the camera. I haven't seen any that are convincing. The majority of them, the vast majority of them, are just faked. people thinking, "Ooh, I'm deciding to have a video with a ghost." Do I believe that ghosts exist? That's kind of a hard one to for me to go on. I don't discount when people tell me ghost stories. Like I said before, I don't say I take everything they say at face value. And but what I think is I don't think ghosts are spirits. I think there's psychological conditions that we have. As a cognitive psychologist, this is exactly what I do. I study the brain and how the brain works. And there are so many ways your brain can play tricks on you. And keep in mind that when you're looking out at the world, you're not really seeing out in the world. This is a projection, and we're just used to it to the point where we see it as being able to actually see everything around me, but it's all projection in your brain. And when everything out there is a projection in your brain, the glitches, you might say. And they really explain ghosts quite a bit. So I tend to lean more towards that. The only thing is I think I've told people before that there is, and I just want to stop 1 second before I go on and say hi to guy with the box for a face. If that's actually the real guy with the box for a face, I want to say thank you for showing up. As you know, I've loved your videos for a very long time. Great channel. If no one's checked out Guy with the Box for a Face, do that. That is an amazing channel. I fell in love with it the moment I first saw it and will continue to promote it. Now, the one thing I was trying to say was there was one instance where I saw something which would have been a glitch in my mind, in the projection, except that somebody else did see it and they explained it to me before I mentioned it to them. And that I have no explanation for. But uh, I'm actually going to make a short video. It's only going to be about 5 minutes long. It'll probably be out tomorrow uh, about something that happened that I saw when I was walking to the gym a few days ago. And
Jet, get off the computer.
It scared the crap out of me for a couple seconds. But as far as that goes, I don't gonna say it was a ghost right away. I believe it was probably just my brain kind of having problems there.
Jet keeps getting on the computer. You're talking to somebody else.
I was talking to you.
I think I hear it.
She won't.
Did you check out Mr. Reality? No, I didn't.
To get to the window.
No, I don't know if you're talking to me, Claire, but I don't believe that we're projections. No, I definitely don't believe that. I believe we're real. However, I'm just talking about the projection is the way our eyes work.
Yeah.
Everything. Our eyes are cameras, and they're taking pictures of the world, and they're projecting what they're seeing into your brain. So it's really fascinating. I remember when I first started in school, I was so enwrapped when I was learning about how eyes work. It's really strange. It was one of the most fascinating things I'd ever seen. And it kind of blew my mind a little bit too. I think afterwards I kind of had to like like that was intense and calm down a bit. When we have like a soul, conscience, and even more real. Oh God, what was that?
Not to think about that.
Somebody is really, really getting messed up
She's really
audio
choppy.
there. Yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback from you.
It's probably because the animals are on the computer.
Oh yeah.
Her animals are on the computer, so they're shorting out the audio. I don't know.
Yeah. But I was seeing people talking about that, going online to what we were just speaking about, glitch in the Matrix stories. I do kind of enjoy those. They're neat, and I will go as far as saying that there are a lot of reality theories that I really really like. Wait a minute, let me pause for just a second. Aramak, KOC, believing more towards Hinduism. Does that mean that you don't believe in angels or demons or Christianity? You know, here's the thing about Hinduism, and I
Sorry to
if you
interrupt, but
don't,
am I back now?
Yep.
you are back.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
we're never actually gone, but so
Oh,
okay. Um, if you learn about Hinduism, other religions can exist with Hinduism. In fact, it you can be Hindu. Now you can't kind of work backwards, I guess, because Christianity kind of like shuts down any other religion. It's like if you believe in Christianity, Christianity says you can't believe in anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Hinduism doesn't say that.
Hmm.
Hinduism can be like an umbrella for other religions, and other religions can exist under Hinduism. And so I have considered myself for the past, oh God, how long has it been now? For the past 15 years, I've considered myself to be a Christian. However, I take a very liberal license as to what that means. So I don't. I mean, I don't really hear, but when I go back to Illinois, I'll probably start going to church again. I'm a church going guy. I just don't like the. I'm an Episcopalian, confirmed, baptized as an adult, uh, and I used to go to church all the time. I don't do it here because there's one Episcopal church here, and I don't particularly like it.
yeah,
So
it's mostly Baptists down here.
yeah, but the I would have to say that a lot of people probably wouldn't consider me a Christian, but their opinion is irrelevant. I don't
Exactly.
I don't care what people think. I incorporate different things into my religion. I don't see any problem with that. So the there's no issue for me, and I I believe in a lot of things. I believe there's some sort of continuation after death, but it's probably not what people think it is. I don't think that we're going to die. Now, I think the entire idea of hell is just ridiculous. I do not believe in hell. I do not, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. You're gonna if there's a God, okay, we have to figure that this God is so in, powerful and intelligent beyond our conception of intelligence, and so he's gonna put us on a planet where we don't really know what's going on. We just have other people telling us, believe this, believe this, believe this. No, don't believe that, without giving us definitive proof from himself as to his existence and what we should do. But he's still going to punish us and send us to a fiery pit for eternity. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know, right?
I think I was listening to, and I'm not an atheist, but I sometimes very much listen to atheists because they make good points a lot of the time. And I think it was Vice Rhino I was listening to, who made this excellent comparison to original sin. And he's like, original sin, where of course, Adam and Eve didn't know what evil was until they ate from the fruit. And then they knew what they did was wrong. Um, so they got punished, and all their descendants got punished too. So think about it. Original sin is like this. He said it's like you take your 4-year-old who doesn't know how to drive a car, and you make them drive the car, or you let them drive. They drive the car and they crash the car. Then you punish them for not knowing how to drive the car by grounding them, and then grounding all of their descendants for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty good comparison there. And so yeah, hell, no, that's just, in my personal opinion, there is no hell. I nonsense.
I like it the way they say it in Futurama when Bender is a god for a while.
Oh yeah,
I always thought that was pretty brilliant.
they said that you've done it right where you've done just enough that no one thinks you've done anything at all.
Exactly.
But yeah, but as far as God, yeah, I believe that. But I'm not going to come out and No, if someone asking me, do I take the Bible literally? No, there's absolutely, positively no way I'm going to do that.
I've known too many
I
smart Jews to take the Bible literally.
I'm very, 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 very fond of the Gospels, and I'll even go beyond that. I like a lot of the Gnostic Gospels very, very much. The Gospel of Thomas is probably my favorite, but uh, what I think happens when we die, I think we join back in with that force that runs throughout the universe. Uh, Hinduism, I believe, is called the Brahma or the
Oh my god, we're
Brahman.
all changelings and we'll go back into the Great Link.
But yeah, I think we all join back into that force, and you you will become you reincarnated into another one.
Hey!
Oh, well, thank you, Venigan's Art, for that donation. That's great. Thank you. That's beautiful too. I like that. I just put the super chat thing up today. I never even knew it existed, but that's beautiful. Thank you, and thank you very much for the $2. Everything, if anyone donates anything, it'll of course go towards the channel. So I appreciate that.
And occasionally cat
Vatican's
food for
art.
Ichigo.
Oh, occasionally. Well,
That was kind of a joke more than
he
anything.
he does like his cat food, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
We're gonna do something else here.
He's my big ball of he's big orange ball of cuddly love.
Nah, that was my name for him.
I know, but he's mine now too. I mean, you know
Wow,
what I mean.
I appreciate that. And again, we appreciate that so much. That was very great, and I love the little cat face.
I know it's so cute.
It's like a chess. It's like a Cheshire tabby.
Ichigo
Oh, I took a look at
smiles a lot.
in Vatican's Art. I took a look at your channel too. I guess you don't have videos, but I thought, well, if they have videos, I'm gonna subscribe and promote. But um, I'll
If you
subscribe.
have any art or anything up or whatever, you know, anything, feel free to link us.
I'll subscribe to your channel anyways, even if you don't have videos, because I just do that sort of thing. So you can't burn the ISIS flag. I missed something there, didn't I? Phantom of Darkness wants to come back as the Phantom of Darkness.
Who sounds exactly the same?
What?
I don't know. I was asking Phantom what he said. He said you guys sound exactly the same.
You think me and my sister sound exactly the same? Then
I
okay.
think he means me and your sister.
You know, you guys do sound a little
But
alike.
somebody said that a few weeks ago.
I have
Or
no idea.
last month, whatever, the first stream I was in.
Right. Okay, I have no idea what he just said, but whatever.
Well, just to know, I know some people, we've gotten into the religious thing here. I'm just going to tell people too that's what I believe. It's really not going to change based off what anybody tells me. I look at everything that's out there in the world and sort of form my own ideas, and I could be wrong. You know, if you know, if I die and you do go to heaven as a physical being of yourself, your spirit, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I was wrong. I'm sorry. If you want to punish me, go ahead. Um, but I'm also one other thing that I say is no one's really going to change my mind. I'm the only person that can do that, and I give everybody else that same respect. I would never, ever, ever try to change somebody else's mind about their religion. The only
Same
person,
here.
the only person that can make the only person that can make a decision on anybody's religion is themselves.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I do go to church. I'm a church going guy. I wear Jesus shirts. Hell, if I had that thy will be done, if I knew a way to show you guys that picture, I would. Can I show pictures in chat? Probably not. But I but yeah, I probably the best day of my life, I can tell you right now that I was happier than I ever was the day that I got baptized. So Aromac, do you believe people can be possessed by demons or any of the YouTube videos that claim proof? Uh, I don't believe in demons, so that kind of excludes the fact that I would think that anybody possessed by them would be proof. more often than not, somebody who is quote unquote possessed by a demon, it can be explained through many different psychological or neurological disorders. So, yes, I do remember my baptism. As I mentioned, Phantom, I was baptized as an adult. It was my choice.
Yeah, and they sprinkled some holy water on the rest of us too. That was kind of scary.
Yeah, the water was cold too. I mean, you
It's
guys only got
water, of course it's going to be cold.
oh, it was not just cold; it was like ice cold. And
Yeah.
me and the priest got into it, and we were like ah. And then he's like, the way he did it is he dumped three. He had a bowl, and he dumped three whole big bowlfuls of water on my head. And then he got like a fourth bowl, and I said in front of everybody, I said, "No, if that's for one to grow on, I don't want it." But shrinkage, oh yeah,
I was in the
yeah.
baptism pool.
I'm sure I'm sure the priest got that too. But no, it's KFC. I thought you were to say meeting me. I missed something there. Sorry,
Yeah, I have no
but
idea
yeah,
what he's talking about there. Or she.
but yeah, the baptism I remember. I was very happy. It was a wonderful day. They had a potluck. It's a lot of really good food. We went out shopping. Another thing that was great about it, this was back when with Best Buy, if you had a Best Buy, like one of those little membership cards, for every like $100 spent, they give you like a $5 coupon, $5 gift card. My mom bought a washer and a dryer that day, the day of my baptism, came to $2,000. So I got like $100 in gift certificates for it. So see, it was even better. Did I not tweet this out? I thought that I did. I probably did. And sorry, that's Lex pointing out my stupidity there. Um, how come my voice is a bit lower live? You got me.
Everybody's voice is different when they're on various social net. Like, say, if I'm chatting to somebody on Snapchat, like voice chatting on Snapchat, to say if I'm listening to their YouTube channel or chatting on, Hangouts to listening to your YouTube channel. You sound either a bit lower or a bit higher.
Hmm. Well, I am gonna go ahead and put the link out in the stream because Lex reminded me, and I guess I did not put that out. So my apologies to anybody who's not here. And,
Oh, well, of course, Rebecca. That's
and
the greatest days of anybody's life.
what's that? Oh
Meeting
yeah.
Rebecca.
Oh, the greatest day of your life. Oh, okay, I get you. That was a really fun day. I'll admit that. I do want before we get too far, Seth Freeman. I want to say hello. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Say something. Did you want me to tell that story or not? Because if you want me to tell the story that we talked about, I will. My Apple guys.
Maybe it should say pies. I am really want something to munch on right now.
Yeah, we should have got some sweet stuff. Well, um, you could always
Next
try.
week, if we actually end up doing a marathon stream, you probably should.
We'll have to get snacks too. But uh, but anyhow, one thing I want to say is anybody here. I hope nobody gets offended or gets irritated by mine or any of this religious beliefs. Let's just put that to the side and say we believe in different things. But this is about something else. So I have friends with many people from many different religions. So, oh my God,
Wow.
Invader Jill, donated $9.99. First of all, thank you very much. That's just amazing. I'm gonna read your message. Are you a clinical psychologist and have clients? I have a therapist once who said they avoided social media as they had stalked by a former client. Anyways, love your content. Well, again, thank you very much. That's just absolutely wonderful. First off, and no, I'm not a clinical psychologist. I am a cognitive psychologist. So even if I ever wanted to do therapy, I'd have to go back to school and get a different degree. What I do is, and it is funny because a lot of people ask me for advice because I'm a psychologist, but it's like no, it's different. What I do is I study the brain. I study the different parts of the brain. I study things like you can say things like how do I want to put this? Um, Cognitive psychologists were the ones who also they do research. They're the ones who come up with all those little brain trick things, like the we work with perception. Now, the funny thing about that is what I do is completely unrelated to that right now. I actually do translation work, Japanese to English, and it's psychology articles. So I kind of had to have the psychology knowledge. But honestly, what I'm doing right now is I'm studying suicide. I'm researching suicide in Japan and why it's so prevalent and what the medical community can do in order to bring down the suicide rates. So I saw Teresa said a hello in there, so I want to give her a hello back. Teresa Jones, hello. And again, just tell Invader Jill that was just so wonderful of you to donate that. Thank you. Wish that I could. I'm not the best person at knowing to how much or how much where to stop giving gratitude, because I think you guys all know I can be extremely gracious. I could talk about something that somebody has done for me for 1,000 years. Just be like, oh yeah, remember 5 years ago? Oh, that was so great when you did that for me. So I get very appreciative. So,
You've
but
been asked if KOC is your real name.
no, my
You
real
should have
name
said yes.
my real name is Jacob Fox. And people say you shouldn't give out your real name. Well, I don't. I'm not worried about that. I mean, uh,
Ooh, anime about Prankster Fox.
what?
Check out the comment says something about an anime about a Prankster Fox. I will definitely check that out. So thank you for sharing that. I'm always looking for new anime.
Yeah, I haven't seen or even heard of that. But if it's about a prankster fox, I definitely would want to see it. Invader Jill, very very cool. I'm part Japanese, so that's a lovely contribution in my personal opinion. Thank you. That also makes me feel good because yeah, it's something that uh, as anyone knows, suicide is a very very close subject for me. Having had one of the most important people of my entire life commit suicide when I was 15 years old, and ever since then, it's been very, very, very close to me to study this sort of thing, and I deal with a lot of really dark material, and it can sometimes really wear me down. So doing things like this really make me feel a whole lot better and happier, and
Woo!
it's the idea too that if the research at one point can save somebody's life or something, that would be wonderful too. Teresa,
Yay, thank you, Teresa.
Teresa Jones, I missed your birthday. Happy belated. Well, thank you, and thank you very much for that donation too. I uh, I love how it comes up in the big box so everybody can
Me
see you.
too. That's awesome.
Teresa Jones has been so nice and wonderful to me. We've talked. Yes, I'm sorry. It's like I keep on getting this like tightness in my chest a little bit. Like it's like making my voice catch for a second.
I know what you mean. I
I,
get that sometimes.
it's probably because I'm drinking this carbonated water. It's called Clear America.
Oh, is it
Clear American. It's a pineapple coconut carbonated water.
that pineapple coconut stuff?
Yeah, that stuff
Oh,
is
I
really
love
good.
that.
Clear American is called. If you haven't tried it, it's pretty good if you like carbonated water drinks. But Teresa Jones, thank you. And you know, I like to think that if someone really enjoys their birthday, it might last for more than one day. So getting belated birthday wishes is great. I like them. So thank you very much. They really make me feel really positive and just like my birthday is continuing. And as my birthday, as we mentioned when the stream started, I was so happy the entire day. It was just a really, really good day.
It was a very good day.
I mean, I did spend a large portion of it answering happy birthday wishes on my videos, which I haven't got to all of them yet. And you know me, I will go back and get to them. But did we have something to eat or no?
Who's in the what now?
Did we do something? Well, we went to we went to the
Yeah, with
Oishi
Oichi.
the day before. So
Oh,
maybe we had I don't remember, but it was a good bit. It was a good day. And
Is
huge hugs back.
well, I ordered pizza that night.
That's what it was. I was thinking, yeah, we had wraps that day too because we bought the stuff
Mm-hmm.
for the wraps. That's what I wanted to have.
Damn it, I'm hungry.
Yeah. KOC, do you believe in ESP, hypnosis, mind control, etc.? Ooh. Let me get that in a second. I want to, Invader Jill. Suicide is also close to my heart. My husband has struggled with it his whole life. Was only diagnosed with bipolar 2 last summer. So we are grateful for your efforts in psychological research. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and hope that research helps. And bipolar 2 people, bipolar 2, bipolar 1 are both very very susceptible to hypnosis. To Oh God! See, my brain's thinking two things: susceptible to suicide. So hopefully, your husband is okay and getting the treatment for that. Bipolar 2 is very difficult to treat. Bipolar 1 is difficult as well, but bipolar 2 is a little bit more difficult. Bipolar 1 is difficult because the people tend to go off their medication because a bipolar high, a manic phase, as some people will call it. We don't really like to call it that anymore. We like to call it a bipolar high now. Is supposed to be like the greatest thing a human being can feel, like the greatest drugs, the greatest drugged feeling you could ever have. And when you take the medication for bipolar 1, you don't get them. You don't get the lows anymore, but you don't get the highs. So they go off the medication to go for the highs. The bipolar 2 is not as well understood as bipolar 1, and the symptoms are a little bit more varied depending upon the person, which makes it very difficult to treat. But here I am going on and on about psychology, so I hope that I wasn't boring anybody there. But I wanted to go into that because um, I'm again very thankful for the donation, and is very very humbled by that as well. And now I'm going to say something that's going to make people hate me. I do not believe in ESP, unfortunately. There was a long period in my life where I did. And as some people, as you probably know, you'd probably be surprised to hear this. I actually read tarot cards, and I still read them to this day. But what I do is I just tell you what the cards say. You know what the card means in the place that you put it. I don't look at your face to try to get signals from you. I don't tell you to ask a question. I'll just read it outright. And if you can take something out of it, that's wonderful. But do I think that's giving me some sort of psychic connection with you? No, I really don't anymore. I did when I first started to read them. I
It
believed
is
in it.
weird. I remember that one time I did that reading for that guy, and I figured out he was gay in the reading, and it was weird because it was over the internet, and obviously something in his email or something must have clued me in. But it was a very odd and interesting situation.
Hmm.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have to sometimes because otherwise it wouldn't get a word.
I talk a lot. I talk a lot. I know, but both of you and Amber too. Feel free just to butt in whenever. Um, because I'd be interested when after I say what I believe about the ESP and stuff. I'd be happy to hear what you think. Now as far as I don't know, it's hard because I would like to believe in it, but I've become very jaded,
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube ironically has a lot to do with that, with people just doing fake videos. This made me very jaded. But not only that, there's been a lot of statistical information. Once I've understood it a little bit more, I've in watching people try to win the James Randi Educational Foundation $1 Million Challenge, and then you have people like Sylvia Brown, Uri Geller, people who are kind of obvious fakes, and it kind of gets you more jaded. Um, However, hypnosis is a real thing. Again, I do deal with that as a cognitive psychologist, but it's probably not what most people think it is. It's 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 really just sort of a way of relaxing somebody to a point where they're comfortable bringing things up that they might not be before. I don't believe you can hypnotize somebody and make them do something. Um, because that's the one thing about hypnosis. It will not force you to do anything that you weren't already willing to do. And like people do a lot of self hypnosis, but self hypnosis, again, you're just trying to have yourself do something that you were willing to do,
Mm-hmm.
which is why
That's just
hypnosis
called
works.
getting drunk.
It's called
That's
getting
all
drunk.
that is.
Yeah. And I know during my whole rant there, people are asking things. I can't really go back and look at them all. So I'm sorry. I looked at them all. Don't get me wrong. And I'm reading them and stuff, but the I just don't want anyone to think I'm discounting or not paying attention to your comments. It's just sometimes hard to get to them. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm not going to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
um, Science has found some connections between the ear and the brain. Well, I have to look into that. It's been a little while since I've been out of school, so. But thank you, Vader Jill. Yeah, so the SSRIs are good. Um, I think Prozac is like God's gift to medicine for me. It has done so much good for me when other medications haven't. So
Is Dog Boy up, or is that the cats I'm hearing?
that is the cat you're hearing. He has been asleep
Ah.
for a very long time now.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least he's getting some sleep.
Auto suggestion, still believe some of it's real though. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not going to discount a lot of stuff. Um, here's what I want to say about all that is I take the idea that it and a lot of people, some of the people get against like really insult people like James Randi, who is, as we know, is a skeptic, because they think that skeptics like him, like me, go out in order to specifically prove people wrong, and that's not what we do. I would love it. I would love to see a real psychic phenomena. I'd love to see telekinesis or someone bend a spoon, without using a cheap magic trick to do it. And I've talked to James Randi, and he feels the same way. It's like we would love to do that, but in the meantime, while we're waiting for something like this to possibly happen, we'll expose the charlatans. And because it's irritating when someone would do that to somebody else. Someone will take your beliefs, and sort of manipulate them to get attention and money and stuff. So anyhow, I'm going on and on. Do I dabble in the macabre, tarot boards, Ouija boards, but don't believe in spirits? You're trying to catch me there. It's not going to work. I said specifically I use tarot cards, but I do not believe there's anything supernatural about them. I just think they're neat.
I think that it's a psychological thing, especially when usually if I ever use them, I'm just doing a reading for myself. It just helps me clarify what I'm already thinking.
Yeah, it's I agree. I don't think there's anything spiritual about it. It's just something I do. And keep in mind about the when I started reading tarot cards, I did believe in spirits. I did believe in ghosts. I did believe in ESP. I did believe well, I didn't believe in aliens, but coming to Earth, I don't think I've ever believed that. I did believe in all that stuff. But so the tarot cards is basically I started doing them back then. I did a lot of work learning how to read those cards. Even if I don't believe they're spiritual or magic anymore, I am not going to stop doing it because I put a lot of work into learning those. Oh, there's an interesting question. What I think is the wait, let me see it again. Who is the best member of the Bullet Club? Yikes. Um, there've been so many different people in it, in and out, in and out. Let me make sure I know who all the current members are before I open my big mouth, because I can sometimes stick my foot in it, as we all know. Um, Looking through the quick list, the best member of the Bullet Club is Kenny Omega. My favorite member of the Bullet Club is Adam Page. So, but Kenny Omega, can't discount him. What an amazing wrestler. So,
Foot
Definitely
cramp.
the best member. What's that?
Foot cramp. I
Oh,
hate
okay.
that. Ugh.
Did you guys want to say anything more about ESP or that sort of thing?
I got nothing to say except actually, every time somebody mentions it, I remember when we lived in Virginia Beach and we had just pictures that we'd drawn and put on the wall. And I remember you actually writing out uh, ESP, but you actually wrote the words out. I just, for some reason, I always see that drawing every time you mention it. I just think that's neat.
Yeah, I'll let you answer that question about the
Hmm?
cat. There's a question about Ichigo in the
Oh,
chat.
about him being named after Ichiko Kurosaki?
Yeah.
Yes. And,
We don't always tell people that though.
huh?
We don't always tell people that though. A lot of times we tell them he's named after the Japanese word for strawberry.
Yeah, a lot of times he's my big fat strawberry too. Hi, Jet. I kind of name all of my animals after characters that I like, except for Althea, who got named after a Grateful Dead song. It was kind of cool because I was just driving home with her because when I adopted her, I had to wait a week because they sent her to their vet and everything to make sure she was already spayed, so I didn't have to worry about it. But they checked everything else. And when I was driving her home, she was in the little carrier and she kept meowing and meowing. And I was like trying to talk to her to calm her down, going through names. And when Althea came up, she stopped meowing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll name you Althea then. I don't know if that worked.
Mm. Yeah, and like all my ferrets ever have been named after Buffy characters. Except for Sakura, who you named. But when I named them, they're named after Buffy characters. Adam Page, really? I thought you were better. I am. Be nice to me. You're mean. I don't like you anymore. Why don't you like Adam Page? I mean, the Hangman Page character is kind of dorky, but he's a pretty good wrestler. So, but I don't know. I liked Adam Page back from when I first started, before the whole Kingdom thing, before the Bullet Club thing, when he just went around wearing a baseball cap. That was like his gimmick. But I don't know. I like him. I think he's good. But the gosh darn it, Grammarly, you suck. What am I? Oh, I'm just reading. But yeah. Anyhow, blah 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 blah. I'm Oh, wrestling. You had no idea. Would you have no idea about wrestling? Hello, KOC. Hello, everyone. Hello, Len Wright. Dash. I'm not gonna pronounce that because Laserbug. Hope I got that right.
That's something I love about Japanese is that it can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah, yeah. Words can mean different things. Usually, it depends upon what kanji represents it, and it's a lot of context in
Which I
Japanese.
couldn't answer. I have no idea because I never decided on such a thing.
It uncorrects me most of the time, huh?
Yeah, that Grammarly thing is supposed to fix your grammar on your computer when you're typing and stuff. I wouldn't bother.
Because
Chrome
he's
does it for me, so why do I need to download another
It's like
application?
trying to use autocorrect. For the
yep.
most part, it just puts you in a bigger hole than you're already in.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Lynn Wright, for the belated birthday, and I got it right. Yay! Let's go celebrate. Where's Cool in the Gang?
I wish we had something that delivered other than pizza.
Yeah, I know, because I'm not in the mood for that either. Bullet Club is basically NWO. Well, duh. And the sky's blue. I know you're just. I know you're not making a comment. You're explaining it to somebody, so I'm just giving you a hard time, Seth. I give Seth a hard time. He's nice though.
A kitten has attacked me.
Oh, he's nice, and I wasn't Seth. Wasn't I supposed to tell a story that you told me? You wanted. Wasn't there a story that you wanted me to tell on live stream? I think we were talking about it earlier. It's that story that first you told when we first started talking, right? It'll take a couple seconds to catch up with him, but I'll know if he wants me to tell that story or not.
Oh, cool. Is that a full moon out there? Nice.
Is it a full moon tonight?
It looks like it's hard to see. There's a tree in the way, but it looks like it.
Hmm. I'll have fun walking. You better not.
Knock it off, you two.
I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm not going to. I would never tell anybody's story without their permission. But when me and Seth first started talking, he told me I will fight you.
Stop doing that, and you won't have a problem.
Your foot hurts. Your foot hurts. You can't fight me. But he told me a story, and it was a really interesting story. I liked it a whole lot, but I'm not going to tell it because he doesn't want me to, and that's fine. I respect that. Uh, but
Dave, biggest brother needs a nickname. I mean, we call Dog Boy Dog Boy.
yeah,
But
well,
anyway,
if he came over and got his cats, he could always take you to the store. But
that's true. He's supposed to come over at some point. He said definitely tonight.
all right, yeah, my brother's coming to take his cats back. That would be Jet, the one with the broken leg, and her kittens.
Aw, your house is gonna seem empty.
Well, a little bit, yeah. Those two long-haired kittens are fun to watch play.
Yeah, I'm enjoying them.
Mhm.
Too bad those will
Except
be the ones
for
going
there
back with
won't
him.
be as much like whining.
Right.
Oh, there will be because the whiner is still going to be here. That's Ashy Slashy. He lives here now. So
Oh,
Yeah, him and Yuchiro is just a little orange cat that's not long hair and looks like a tiny little Ichigo. Are
how's the
staying
cat's
with
leg?
us.
How's the cat's leg?
I
Still in the
think it's
cast.
good. It's hard to tell. The problem is that we need to get some money to take her back to the vet. I actually started a GoFundMe, but I've only had a little bit. And so she's, well, it costs a lot of money.
Mm.
So it was over $200 just to get her the surgery and stuff she needed anyway, but we have to take her back for multiple visits and everything to check it out. And honestly, we've run out of money and I don't know what we're going to do.
I will figure it out. We always
Yeah.
do.
But as far as I can tell,
then
she's
again, it
doing
is
great.
David's. It is David's. It is our brother's cat, not our cat.
Right.
We're just watching it right now to take better care of it, and I guess I guess that's why, right?
Yeah, I wanted to watch her because she needed constant attention immediately after the surgery.
Right.
And I knew that he couldn't do that because he's busy with other things, and I didn't want her to have to deal with the Chihuahua.
Oh yeah.
Which is funny because here she has to deal with our cats, but that was pretty. I mean, other than the fact that she pretty much took over my bedroom, it's pretty much okay.
Because not to air family drama, but that's what happened to people who might not know. That my brother's son, my nephew, is staying with him, and he has a Chihuahua, and I guess he didn't like the way the cat was interacting with the Chihuahua, so he got angry and threw the cat, and that's what
Against the
broke
wall.
threw the
so
cat
is it
against the
really a
wall.
good idea then for you to give the cat back? Shouldn't you just keep the cat for safety reasons?
Well, because my nephew isn't staying. It's my brother's cat. So, I mean, I want to go ahead and give her back to him.
Yeah, but you said your nephew was staying with your brother.
He's leaving.
Okay.
Yeah, because if he ever laid a hand on the cat again, I would have to murder him.
Well, hopefully your brother's more gentle than your nephew.
Oh, very much.
Oh,
yeah, he
yeah.
adores his cat.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
he would never hurt it. But yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't have kids, and I mean, how old is
Oh
him?
gosh, I was 18 when he was. Oh god, I'm gonna give out my own age.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
No, you were younger than that. But yeah, well, anyhow, he's an adult.
Yeah.
And he, regardless, I don't know what it's like to have kids, but if I had an adult child that came here and I said, hey, you're on hard luck, come and stay with me, it's fine, and you throw my cat up against the wall and break his leg where his bone's sticking out of his leg, I'd be like, yeah, get the hell out of my house.
Exactly.
Yeah, and never come back and get severe counseling and therapy.
Yeah, I know that he wants to have a relationship with his son, and that's what his problem is, and that's why he's not knocking the crap out of him like he would anybody else. But at this point, it's like, dude, it's not worth it to do that to yourself. You have 4 other kids. Try being nice to them for a while.
Yeah, exactly. But
Hopefully
yeah.
they treat it. Hopefully they treat him better.
Oh yeah.
Those ones are littler. They're all little
Hmm.
kids.
Oh
His daughter, oh my god, she adores him. She is definitely a daddy's girl.
Well, that's
yeah.
good.
The bone was showing.
She
George
will never be
Navarro
able
was
to
asked
date.
about that.
He will murder
Oh God,
anybody that
no.
goes near her.
He's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley's been gone a long time. You know. Well, that's true. Uh oh. Mara's gonna neuter a cat. He'll be old enough to be neutered in 2 weeks. You doing a countdown?
I did a countdown. I did a countdown for Ichigo. I had it on whiteboard.
Yep, she sure did.
So many days until Ichigo gets his balls removed. Holy crap!
Wow, Aromac. Thank you very much. Happy belated birthday. Wow.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to just I don't I think I got to dedicate my video. Know what I'm going to do? I'm uh been trying to have a couple of videos coming out the next day, and is the people who've donated don't mind, I'll mention you all in the video and in the outro to the video, and thank you all again for this. But wow, thank you very much, Mac. You can't believe how much that would help us, and as I said, I want to put stuff towards the channel, but maybe I might be lucky to put some towards the cat too. So thank you very much. That's just way, 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 way appreciated. Thank you
If anybody
so
has any
much.
fan art or anything, you can always send that to us on Twitter and stuff. We would love to see it.
That's true too. So I love how that you get to have your name up there too. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
With the thing, I like how the super chat thing works. But again, I don't think words can express how grateful we are for that, Aramac. Thank you very, very much. And if you want, I'll start believing in ghosts. Where is my boy toy? Phantom's in here somewhere. You sexy cat god, is that me? Wow. I don't know if I am, but that's just interesting.
I'm just sitting
How
here
you doing,
listening to
Justy?
cats play. Welcome back, Rebecca.
Rebecca's back. Vader Jill. Yeah. Okay, great. Like I said, and Aramac, if you want me to say anything or you have any sort of art or anything, I would put it in the video too. I'm gonna try to come out. Don't sell out. What do you mean?
Oh.
But yeah,
Do I even want to know what that was?
we do
Sounds
see,
like a cat or some animal breaking something.
she always has things falling down in her room.
I'll be right back. No, that was the kitchen. I'll be right back.
It has been a while, Justy. What have you been up to? Justy said doing good. Long time no see.
Actually, I'll be
Hope you
back too.
hope you've been doing good. It's nice to see. I love seeing people I haven't seen in a while. It's really neat how that works. You know, I'm just can't come up with the words right now, can't I? But it's as an offering as an offering to believe in ESP. Yeah. Everyone being so helpful with the donations. I will try to believe in ESP for you guys. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and I can't take the $1,000,000 challenge myself because it's been discontinued. But I tell you though, let me tell you something that was kind of weird. A long time ago, there was a show. A long time ago, it really wasn't that long ago. Probably within the past 10 years, there was a TV show called Phenomenon, and it was a show that had magic. It was like the American Idol version for magicians. And Chris Angel and Uri Geller were the hosts. Now, I was a pretty big fan of Chris Angel for a while, but he's kind of a douchebag in many sorts of ways. But one thing that he did, and I kind of thought it was kind of douchey because nobody was really giving him a hard time on the show.
Yeah.
But this guy on the show did something that he claimed to be supernatural. And afterwards, he told the guy that he thought it was just really awful. And then he took out this envelope and he said that he would give Uri Geller or the contestant $1 million of his own money if they could guess what was in the envelope. And of course, nobody really, neither of them really went for it. But I sat there and I said to myself, I know what's in that envelope. It's 9/11. And he opened it up and it was 9/11. Now, his point, the reason, here's why people are going to think that if I tell you that story that means that I have ESP. But the reason I knew it was going to be 9/11 was because that is sort of one of the things many skeptics fall back on. And fall back on is that we always say that if ESP existed, that we would have been able to predict 9/11 and end it. And so I don't think that I had like a psychic phenomenon there. I just knew the way that Chris Angel thinks. Mm-hmm. And I kind of wish I was on the show because then I would have had $1 million. And Teresa Jones, another $9.99. Well, thank you. Any story you choose is one I'll listen to. I appreciate that. I think you guys will like. Whoa!
Hey!
Holy crap!
No reason. Don't come here. I'll feed you the bed.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sure you heard that.
Yeah, what was that?
The cat with the broken leg got really pissed off, I think. I didn't see it, but she was my sister was feeding all the cats and she kind of flipped out. Is she all right? I know she's fine. Oh, she attacked Althea? Mm-hmm. Oh, so she attacked the grandma cat. So
Aww.
But they're separated. But you know, she's here with her kittens, you know, and her kittens, and she's got the thing. So yeah, I don't know how much did you, I'm just asking everybody in the room, how much did you hear that?
Squealing.
Yeah, that was kind of scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
If you need to turn the light on to check Althea, it's fine. Hey, welcome to the cat fight. Wake you up.
It did.
Yeah.
Who do I need to punch?
You can't do anything. It was Jet.
Okay,
So yeah, that was no, I don't think the dog barked. Buffy didn't bark, did she? No, that was all cat. That was all cat, guys. But no, it was bad, but you know, considering the circumstances, what happened was understandable. So, but yeah,
marathon stream?
I'm doing the stream. Yes,
How many hours are you in?
I'm going to do it until around 11. Stop interrupting me. I don't. But PTSD. But yeah, so sorry guys that you had to hear that. But I think all the participants are okay.
What? Who has PTSD?
What's that?
You said something about PTSD.
Oh, Artemis said PTSD in the room, so I mentioned that. But I was just reading the comments. Yeah, but okay then. As long as
Well, if the cat goes in the next day or so, maybe that'll cut down on the cat fighting.
KOC, I only offer interesting topics here. Please don't change your beliefs because of me. Just keep telling interesting stories. Fun. And don't worry. No, I'm not gonna change my beliefs. I appreciate the donation very, very much, but yeah, I won't change my beliefs. I'm pretty steadfast in them. So, and but I appreciate you commenting back on that too. But let me look back because I'm talking. Do you have any crates for the cats and dogs? Yeah, we have one crate. Usually. Oh, bye, Seth. I want to say bye before you go anywhere. And don't worry, I'll wait to the end of the stream to tell your story. And no, we have a crate because we have to crate the collie when we leave, otherwise she'll go to the bathroom in the house. So, but that's when we use it. So, hey, Vina Waldron's here. How are you doing? I'm sorry. I'm trying to get back caught up, guys. That cat fight really kind of like threw me. I think I missed a whole lot of comments, so I apologize. But that was very startling. If anyone knows anything about me, when I stay in the house, I keep the house pretty dark for the most part. So hearing that in the dark is kind of freaky. But anyhow, yeah, I will I will fight you, KC, even with the messed up peel. I'm not going to tell your story. I'm too nice to do that. I will tell Kevin's story. I do tell people that something. But bye, Seth. I'll probably be talking to you off here, anyways. But I hope your foot feels better. But I'm trying to say something. I tell you that really kind of was weird. But I do have a friend that wanted me to tell one of his stories. If you're not gonna be there, could you mute your microphone? Because I'm hearing everything from both sides. But yeah, but the um, have I had any success with flower essences? Lord, essences. Okay, before I talk about that, and Ichigo goes hiding behind the table. He's like, I don't want to go back in the kitchen. I'm scared. Essences. Before I answer that question and tell you that I don't know what that means. If it's a cat thing, my sister would probably know more about it. She does a lot of that with the cats. I just like to cuddle them. You heard me horribly stumble on that word. I have I have a couple speech impediments. I when I was a kid, I had a problem with L's and R's. You know, kind of like Elmer Fudd to a degree. I had to take speech classes. That has actually benefited me as an adult, though, because I can pronounce the sound in Japanese that most people can't. It's sound between L and R. But the other is a stutter. Is I did have a stutter at certain times. It comes back and it goes, and I'm mostly on top of it. But there are times when it decides to creep back in.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I have a little stutter every once in a while myself. We get it from mom. You know, if stutters are genetic, I would assume, because she has a bit of a stutter sometimes.
But yeah, so usually it comes and goes, and I haven't really had a problem with it in quite a while. But there was a period, I think, when I was in high school where it came back for like a semester, and it's like, go away.
Anyway, keep an eye out for that thing that I dropped.
Oh, I will. See, isn't our house just full of fun?
Yeah. Now would be the perfect time for David to show up, and then it'd be a lot of noise for everybody to hear.
The R, which is not an R or an L. Yep. As I said, I'm very, very happy that I had the speech impediment when I was younger, because I can pronounce that when most people I know who are learning Japanese just can't do it. And my Japanese teacher, she was surprised that I did it so well. You do that very good. I'm like, yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah, was there a cat question that I was supposed to answer?
About flower essences. It came back again.
I would love to try them, but I don't have the money to do it. I love Jackson Galaxy, and he has a lot of stuff like that, and I would love to try some of them to calm them down sometimes, but it's like $15 a bottle, and I just don't have the money.
The kittens are crawling all over the outside of the dog crate, like they're trying to climb up on the top of it.
Yeah, I put a little bit of food in there with Ash.
Oh, okay.
What did he do? Why was he in kitty jail?
I don't remember.
Okay, sorry for that big silence there. I silenced the microphone because I had to answer a question, but sorry, was busy. Was going to ask you that. Didn't know if it would be okay with you though. That's got to be the second half of something. I need to stop looking away from the screen because then I get lost. KOC, any of the haunted locations you have been to in your life and explored, have any laid doubt in your mind to your beliefs? You know, Waverly Hills was, as I've mentioned before, quite interesting. I
Oh.
did feel like I was hit by something, some invisible force when I was there. And again, Rebecca felt it too. And there was somebody in front of her that had felt it. And it kind of like they felt it like it whisked past them. And it felt like it hit me full on and knocked me into another room. And then people would be like, well, how can you have that happen to you and say that ghosts don't exist? And it's like, no, I'm saying we don't know what it was. I don't want to come out and say, oh, it was a ghost or a spirit, because we don't really know. There was something there. There was something there, but I don't know what it was. And it knocked me into the other room and I lost my breath. I mean, I think she remembers I was like kind of leaning up against the wall panting for about 30 seconds trying to get my breath back. That one was really interesting because we'd been there for quite a while that night, and nothing had really happened, so we were all kind of getting a little disappointed. There were a couple people. Again, I had a great laugh. Had a great laugh though about the guy with the voice box thingy who was trying to get little ghosts of children from the 1930s to sing "Ring Around the Rosies," and then I had to kept laughing throughout the entire thing, and it felt like a douchebag, so I had to get up and leave. But the reason I was laughing was because that was not a well-known rhyme at the time period in the United States. That didn't become common in the United States until much later, after the 1930s.
Mhm.
So he was trying to get these kids, the ghosts of these kids, to recite a rhyme that it was exceptionally unlikely that they never would have known.
You know the one thing that we have actually not talked about? Horror cliches.
Well, I mentioned a few of them because I wasn't really talking about horror cliches like the car doesn't start. I was really more thinking like things you see on YouTube over and over and over again.
Oh.
But, go ahead.
I still want to know if there's more horror movies than just Halloween where the dog gets killed. Not that I want to see them, it's
I was
just
gonna
because of
say,
that game
why do you
Machiavellian.
want to hear about movies about dogs getting killed?
Because I'm playing a game called Machiavellian, and you have to kill people by the horror movie things, by the horror movie rules, and the last rule is don't kill the dog ever. Now, of course, I never want to kill the dog, but it makes me curious as to why it says that. Why that's a rule if apparently horror movies don't follow it. Because my first thought was Halloween, he kills the dog.
Yeah. There might be other dog deaths, and as many as many scary movies I've seen. I'm sure I've seen them, but off the top of my head, I can't remember any of them. I'm sure they're there, but I can't think of
Because
any.
it was too depressing, so you blocked it out.
Possibly.
Warning, good people, I would suggest give her a can of cat food, and that will probably solve the problem. 1 can of wet food is way better than 100 bags of cat food, of dry food.
Yeah, warning, good people has a cat which has barricaded itself in the bathroom with a knife and is demanding 100 bags of cat food. Now, it's important to know, that they have any hostages.
I want to know why a cat needs a knife.
And cats do tend to bluff, and Vader Jill is right. They do tend to bluff. But yeah, as far as other horror cliches, I mean, like I said, I was mostly thinking about about YouTube videos. Like I never ever want to hear another video about Eliza Lamb ever again.
I
In
don't
fact,
even know who that is.
it first let me say goodnight to Claire Strange. Thank you for
Right,
showing
Claire.
up. Love you back and hope you have a great night. Eliza Lamb, it's this video. It's this woman who died. It's they included in a lot of top 5 lists or top 10 or top anything lists on horror channels. She, and here I am saying I don't want to ever hear about it again, but I'm telling about it. But she was a girl. I think she was a student, and she was in an elevator. They have video in the elevator of the elevator not working, where she goes in and out of the elevator. She's checking like the buttons on the inside and the outside. She's looking around in the elevator, out of the elevator, and then she disappeared. And people in the building or the hotel she was in were complaining about the weird taste of the water in the hotel. And somebody went and checked the water, the big water vat on top of the building where the water comes from, and they found her body in there. And she'd been in there for quite a while. And
Ew.
yeah, but no one knows exactly how she could have got in there. Nobody knows what she was doing beforehand, why she was acting so weird towards the elevator, and there really is no other information other than the little bit that you got. But it's a story that's been told on YouTube, like Invader Jill says. I know no more Eliza Lamb. Almost every top 10 lets her be like unsolved mystery, mystery of Eliza Lamb. Stop it. We don't want to hear about Eliza Lamb anymore.
Yeah, find another. There's got to be a billion other mysteries that you
Right.
can find.
XD Bad Dog. I jump in, but if I turn on my mic, you just get feedback. Okay.
Who did?
See there in the chat. XD Bad Dog would jump in, but if he turned on his mic, he'd get feedback. Lynn Rice says what they don't always say is that she had psychiatric problems. Yeah, they try to look at it just like it's a Eliza Lamb, like it's just a there's some ghost or someone stalking her or something like that. And people don't try to look at that. You know, it really is true that the simplest explanation is usually the correct one, and the simplest explanation is just she had a psychiatric problem. But you know, I'm not at the point. I've heard about the story so many times. I lost interest in even caring what happened. I mean, I feel bad saying that because, you know, of her family and everything, but people just beat it to death. There's no newer information. There likely will never be information about it again. Will likely never completely know, but she probably just committed suicide. It's probably as simple as that. But you won't know for sure, and you know how people like a mystery. Aromac, was Waverly Hills Sanatorium the only haunted location you visited? You know, it's the only one that I went to like that. I've been to other places that have said to be haunted. There is a Barnes and Noble store in Crystal Lake, Illinois, which is supposed to be haunted.
I did not know that.
Yep. When I worked at Borders, we played a joke on them once, but we pretended to be reporters, and we would call there asking people to make statements about the ghosts, and they were getting annoyed. There aren't any ghosts, but it's supposed to be haunted. There's a lot of there's a lot of areas in northern Illinois. Cuba Road, if you remember Cuba Road, Cuba Road is supposed to be extremely haunted, a haunted road that people see ghost cars and ghost houses appear out of nowhere. I've driven up Cuba Road over and over again, more times than I could ever tell you, and I've never seen anything. Trying to think of other places. I've been to Resurrection Cemetery. If people are familiar with the Resurrection Mary story, it's supposed to take place, and that cemetery is supposed to be haunted.
I'm familiar with it. Can anybody guess why?
No, why?
Because I'm your sister.
Oh. And I talk about those things a lot.
Right.
Let me think. I've been to the Bachelor Grove Cemetery, which is considered by most people to be the most haunted place in Illinois. Nothing happened there either. a lot of times the peaceful majority matters not.
Hmm. There's a bad dog in the chat.
Don't get philosophical on my channel, Buster. We're talking about ghosts. What about the gate
Yeah.
being locked and the water hatch being locked with their body inside? Is that BS? I don't know. I
I
mean,
didn't start it. I was finishing it. Now you're continuing it.
yeah. I mean, as far as we know, unless we were there, unless we were the person that unlocked the tank, we don't know if the tank was even locked. I mean, the guy who went in there and unlocked it and looked in there he probably there's a chance that he may have locked it or kept it unlocked, but he wouldn't be thinking about that when he saw a dead body floating into it.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that if the tank was unlocked, that detail would have probably disappeared from his mind. It would have been basically forced out by what happened. So what I mean, Lynn Wright could be right. It could be that somebody took advantage of it and locked her in there and killed her. It could just be that she was able to open it. Maybe the guy who's in charge of it left it unlocked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know. There's so many variables, and all we can really rely on is memory and the memory of the people who found her. And memory is extremely unreliable.
Especially if
But
you found a dead body. I don't imagine you'd be
thinking about the little things.
in your right mind.
No, not at all.
Oh, and you can add whatever you want, George. I'm not like shooting down what you're saying. Just kind of looking back at it. But yeah, I think Eliza Lamb is just nothing more than a person who. And don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying suicide. You know, I would never do that. I think she's just a person who had psychiatric problems and probably killed herself. Can I imagine drinking the water she was in? I've tried my best over the years of hearing about it to not do that. Actually,
Yeah, I think that's just utterly horrible. That those people have to live knowing that.
yeah. And George, you can continue to add your 2 cents or 5 cents or your dollar, your $2. Feel free every time. We're definitely not looking down on you for doing that. I appreciate any feedback or questions because hey, when you guys ask the questions, I don't have to come up with topics to talk about. You guys do that for me. And
Exactly, that's true.
Hello to Telltale's Vlogs. Good to see you. Memory is a very poor form of evidence. Every time we have access to memory, we change it. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Memory is extremely unreliable. I'm going to take advantage of you streaming and play games on the big TV. Good luck on your stream, KOC. Thank you, and hope you don't play games that are going to take a lot of bandwidth, and because you're at the
Be careful about the bandwidth.
Because at the beginning of the stream, you said you had a torrent running. XD Bad Dog we're talking to had a torrent running. That's why we're having problems at the beginning. So I turned it off and it's been fine since then. Nanny boo boo. Oh, hey, Brad. How are you doing? Brad was another one of the members of our trip to Waverly Hills, which we are trying to eventually make a sequel to.
I would love to go sometime.
Mm-hmm. You were so scared to go the first time, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, plus I had to, keep the dog.
You ruined my stream, and I had to cut it off to attach your computer to the internet. I am God of the router.
Yeah, he does have that power. Of course, I do too now that I know the password, but I probably forgot it anyway.
And Brad, I'm doing pretty good. Doing great. Having a nice talk. A lot of people in the chat. Some very wonderful people gave us some donations, which I love them forever for. And I will.
Yes, that was very awesome.
Again, thank everybody again for that, and mention you all when we in the end of my next video. But Brad goes a little bit closer to well, I actually think he may take more of a hard line against the existence of ghosts than I do. I think but it was fun for me having him along too, because it's fun. Most of the people in the tour outright believe in ghosts and outright believe that Waverly Hills is haunted. it was nice having Brad around because he was more on my side of it. Maybe a little bit more hard nosed on the skepticism or the belief of ghosts than I am, I think, but it was still fun. Brad used to play at Waverly. Yes, that's something we mentioned too. Was really fun having him around because before Waverly Hills was open to the public for tours, Brad lives in the area, and he would go into him and his friends had snuck into it several times before they went in and cleaned it all out. So you get to see a lot of trash, a lot of the medical equipment they left in there. And I think the way that he talked to us, the things that he told us about it, made it seem a lot scarier than it was when we were there. And they were there by themselves, so just two people walking throughout the entire hospital by themselves. Oh, and Big Kev, I'm not going to read all those numbers. 76-273. KOC. Hey there, Kevin. How you doing? Hold on for a second. I'll be right back. Say something interesting, Evil Black Cat.
And she doesn't say anything.
My mind just goes blank. But if you notice, I shared a link to the Discord in there. I almost got KOC to join it. I do believe he downloaded Discord the other day. I just think he hasn't installed it yet. But anyway, anybody who likes the horror stuff on YouTube, feel free to join. Narrators, fans, whatever. I just want a place that we can chat.
I should. I wish Discord was a bit more accessible, but it's usable with a bit of playing around with it.
It's funny because right now, pretty much, we're just playing with some of the bots that I put in there. Nobody's chatting. There's not very many people at all.
I hate bots. That's why I don't join any Skype groups, because they just put bots in there because they're bored and they have no lives and they just want bots to talk to them. And it's like, no, I want to talk to a real human. Like,
yeah, I actually enjoy being. I started because I was following another YouTuber and he had a Discord, so that's how I got into it. And I really enjoy the people in that Discord. They're just fun. That's pretty much. And then I belong to a whole bunch of other servers, and I don't ever check them.
Oh, like just ones you found?
Yeah.
Or ones from other YouTubers?
Mostly games. Like, I'll join a games Discord for the updates and stuff. And then I have one for 2 Hour One Life, which is a modded version of the game 1 Hour One Life. And that tends to be a pretty chatty one too, but mostly just talking about the game. I try to get KOC to play a game on a stream, but it's a little difficult to get him to do. He'd probably have to use Dog Boy's computer. I'm hearing cat scratches everywhere. I think my big brother's going to show up at like 11 o'clock at night or something.
Oh boy.
Either that or I've got another cat and I have to get her acclimated to the other cats.
Yeah, some random cats just wander in.
Mm-hmm. Or a cat house.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Why does nothing deliver except pizza?
That's a problem we have here too. It's like there needs to be more variety.
Do you mean like Ichigo with the fedora? Or my brother? Because I'm still working on getting some art of him. It's not easy. I'm way better with animals. Yeah, I'm not very interesting by myself. I'm way better like talking with other people.
Meow 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 meow
There he
meow meow meow
is.
meow meow meow. Sorry, I had a little bit of business to deal with, but the while I was dealing with it, two of the kittens were having like a kaiju sort of battle. It was like they were up on top of the couch and they were just playing, of course, but they were getting up on their back feet and slapping each other with their front paws.
Aw.
Was it the two long-haired ones?
No, it was actually a Chiru and Ashy.
That's awesome. Too bad I couldn't get some video. That would be great for.
It would have been great for the no.
Yeah.
She's the Chiru, the Chiru, named after Kenpachi Zaraki's lieutenant. So, but yeah,
He's like, why do you name them things that I can't say?
I would love when you take her to the vet to have them try to pronounce it.
I know, right?
Oh,
Especially
that'd
around
be
here.
funny.
It took a long time to get us when we were taking Ichigo to the vet to get them to say it, call him Ichigo. It's so funny. We had so I'll have to show some of his pictures on a video before he was neutered, when he was a skinny teenage looking cat.
Mm-hmm.
He's so dorky looking back then.
Adolescent Ichigo is adorable.
Mm-hmm. You just
Now
look
he's
at
a
him.
big old fat boy.
Yeah, he's pretty huge, but he's still adorable. Now he's cuddly. I think I've mentioned this to people before. Before he was fixed, he was very, very much a douchebag.
Ah, Yorichi. If it was a black cat, I would totally go for that.
Now, you need your black cat Drusilla.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I said if a different black cat. Drusilla's already Drusilla. She's awesome.
Oh, I see. I think I missed this a few times. We're doing basketball scores too.
Apparently. I have not been paying much attention to that.
So are you still in there, Kevin? Kevin, no. Guys, why we're talking about, I just had the weirdest thing happen today, and I can't quite figure it out. I can't get a cursor in my Microsoft Works word processor. I can't get a cursor. I don't know how.
Yeah, I just thought that was very weird.
It's odd. It appears everywhere else in every other program. For some reason, it will not appear in my. And see, I use that word processor. I get used to it when I start using a certain word processor or a certain program. I don't want to use another one, so I won't want to use. I had to probably have to uninstall it and install it back. But it was really, really weird. But the reason I bring that up is because I was trying to edit a story I'm doing a collaboration with Nightmarish Tales, and it's going to be ocean stories on their channel, lighthouse stories on my channel. So I have three. I was editing a lighthouse story, or at least I was trying to edit a lighthouse story. But the reason I brought all this up is because another story. And everyone sees Big Kevin there, who's a very good friend of mine, who sent me a story that he thought I should try to read in the live stream. So I thought I would do that before he goes to sleep, because I'm really happy. He's a good friend of mine, and didn't think he'd show up. So if you guys don't mind, I did not edit it or do any grammar checking or anything. I just haven't had the time. But yeah, it's the tiniest kaiju ever. And they're tiny, but that's exactly what it looked like, But I thought I would go ahead and read his story, if that's all right.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Now Ichigo's not hard to say, but they would say Ichigo, but they made it seem more difficult than it was. But I have not done any editing or any grammar checking, so this is the story. As you see in this room, Big Kev, 76, 2003. This is his story. I used to work at a store called Dollar Tree here in Norfolk, Virginia, back around 2000. There was a rumor going on about a ghost that frequented the store. Would make itself visible every once in a while. The old-timers at the store had gotten used to it and never really talked about it that much. I asked one of the old-timers about it, and she said that she had seen him, but she didn't want to tell me anything to influence me. She let me see myself. I walked away laughing. I didn't believe there was any such thing as ghosts, really. They were just a thing in horror movies. I worked the morning shift, offloading the truck whenever it came in and stocking shelves until we opened for business. I was stocking one morning and started smelling what seemed like coffee brewing. We didn't have a coffee machine in the store anywhere, nor did we sell coffee in the store, and no one had brought coffee in that morning. I called to a person working with me to see if he could smell it as well. He couldn't smell anything. The smell was still extremely strong to me. I went back to stocking the shelves and looked to my right. At the end of the aisle was a gentleman dressed in 30s or 40s era clothing, a bowler hat, a suit, and shining shoes. He was holding a mug in his hand. I could see steam flowing from it. I said, "Hey," and he didn't move. My coworker told from across the store, "What?" And I looked over at him and said nothing. When I looked back to the gentleman there was a solid white mist, and it was fading away slowly. I was definitely shook up, but I said nothing for the next couple days, because the old timer I talked to earlier was off the next couple days. She came back and I asked her, "Do you smell coffee when he comes around?" She said, "Yes." I described I described him to her, and she put her hand out. I shook it, and she said, "Welcome to the club." From that day forward, I know that ghost spirits live amongst us, on a different plane, hidden from our sight, but still there. Some are trying to communicate to the loved ones. Some are evil and want to spread harm and chaos, but they are real. And that is Big Kev's story.
That was
So,
awesome. Thank you very much.
I will also record this and put it in a compilation. So, and I want to say, Teresa Jones, thank you for the donation. You're quite the donating machine tonight, aren't you? I appreciate that. But like the life story reading, I actually want to do that more often. But I actually should check my Twitter because the Grimtail brothers were going to read a story, and I hope I didn't like. Nope, they didn't notify me. I was hoping that they didn't notify me and I missed it or something. But thank you for that story, and it will go into a video. I'm going to be doing a compilation, just sort of a general video within a couple of days. I'm hoping the lighthouse video, if I can get that done, will be out by Thursday. I'm keeping my fingers crossed on that one. I'm going to put up a video about what happened to me on a walk I took just a few days ago. And it's not what, if anybody knows what happened about a week ago, that's not what it is. I had an encounter with somebody who wished to cause me some sort of violent harm, and I caused him violent harm instead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I did I tell that in the stream already?
No, you did not.
You were chatting with me when it
I was chatting
happened.
with you when it happened. Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody was calling me homophobic slurs, and that's one of the reasons I did the Grinder video a couple days later. They were calling me some homophobic slurs because I carry a messenger bag, and he attacked me, tried to punch me, and when he tried to punch me, I blocked him, gripped his arm, brought my elbow down upon the inside of his other elbow, and knocked his arm out of joint. And this big muscle-bound guy on the ground crying is like, "You shouldn't have attacked me." I mean, of course, I did a little bit of crying of my own because I hate violence. I'm not ashamed to admit that whenever I have, in any time in my life when I've ever had to resort to violence, and each time it's been self-defense. I've never punched somebody for the sake of doing that. I don't like violence, but it'll cause me that sort of grief afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, but thank you for the donation, Teresa Jones. I'm actually would like to read more stories in the chat. So, um, don't feel like don't feel like you have to donate every time I do. But um, I didn't mean it that way if that's the way it said. But I would like to do that. You know, I know Swamp Dweller did that quite a bit when he was doing his streams all the time. That's why when people ask me, I always told him he was like the hardest working guy that I knew. So, when did that happen? When did I get attacked? That was a week ago. Uh, it was. I mean, it was a week ago, wasn't it? Just a week, right?
This is the
Sorry,
first time we've had to deal with assholes like that down here, isn't it?
first time we had to deal with anything quite like that. Yeah. Tell the story where you defended the young kid that was in trouble. Um, yeah, if no one's ever heard that one before, this happened in Illinois where I was walking through a neighborhood. It was a kind of affluent neighborhood. I think Evil Black Cat will know what I mean. Is in Wakanda, if you go down the street into those subdivisions,
Mm-hmm.
I was out for a walk in that area, and there was sort of off to the side. There weren't really houses around. It was like kind of a big field area, and there was this kid there who I guess upon looking upon him, you'd probably look at him and think that he was gay. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you really shouldn't do that, but you know, people do. Some people do give off that impression, and these guys were harassing him. Much older guys too. I mean, the guys that were harassing him were over 18. I think he was about 15, 16 years old. And they were harassing him for being gay, kind of like he was just trying to walk past them. They were giving him a hard time, kind of like pushing on him and stuff. I'm like, oh Lord. So I walked over to them. They saw me coming, and they kind of almost took their focus off him while I was coming. And I was coming. I told you guys, I just said, guys, you need to stop doing that. Well, who's going to stop us? You know, I said, well, if need be, I'm going to stop you. And I said, well, I'm required to tell you this. I'm a second-degree black belt. I'm required to tell everyone this before I do anything. Don't get me wrong. My words probably weren't as calm as they are right here. But, you know, I'm a second-degree black belt. I'm required to tell you this before I do anything. Actually, you are required under certain laws in certain places to tell people if you have a fighting skill before you get into a fight with them.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, everybody says that. Everybody says they know karate." Da 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 da. And the one guy pushed the gay kid, knocked him onto his knees. I hit the guy in the chest, sent him falling back onto his ass, and he grabbed his sternum. Oh my god, you fucking broke my chest. You broke my chest. And that's why I said to the other ones, I'll do the same to you if you don't leave this kid alone. And they helped their friend up and left. The boy was all like, "Oh, thank you, thank you." It's
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's I don't like just I don't like. I was upset. Yeah, actually, that's the funny thing is I was upset when the guy left. I had to sit down, and kind of like get my emotions back under control because again, I, I did what I thought was a good thing to do, but still, the act of violence is just detestful to me, and so I kind of got overwhelmed. So he got down beside me, was like giving me a hug and be like, "Don't be upset, don't be upset, don't be upset." It's like I have to get, I'll get over it. Just give me a few minutes.
Remember the Walmart parking lot with the guy who parked too close to mom?
Oh, the redneck guy.
Uh-huh. That big
Yeah.
ass truck. He didn't park it right. And he came by and he's slamming his Mountain Dew into the truck, getting all pissed and mumbling to himself. And so I sit out the window at him because he's complaining about the way mom parked, but mom parked fine. He was the one over the line. And I'm like, well, if you learn to park your fucking redneck truck, maybe you wouldn't have this problem. And so he starts yelling at me and calling me a bitch, and you and I start getting out of the car, and then David shows up.
My brother shows up. My brother, who at the time was probably 280 pounds
Mm-hmm.
and huge and
Big
just
old barrel chested. And he's like, "That's my sister you're talking to." The guy about shit himself.
Yeah, his eye. I don't think I've ever seen fear in a person's eyes like that. He's just like, holy shit. And it's like you see two small, you see two smaller people, a woman and a smaller guy. You might think you're badass, but I mean, I got out of the car. To just you tell him don't talk to my sister like that, but I never had an opportunity to. My brother was there, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my brother and sister you're talking to," and he's like, "Whoa, okay." I think my brother is a bit different than me when it comes to
He really is.
violent encounters. You know,
He's a
they
bit different
upset
than
me.
both of us.
Phantom of Darkness is 53 pounds.
I love how Phantom says he remembers.
Yeah.
The Mountain Dew and everything. Yeah, he totally remembers.
Oh, that was Phantom that we were talking to.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, hey, Adam Miller, how are you doing? I love it when you guys put the little cat pictures.
I know they're so
The
cute.
hose are so great. They're always orange.
Hey, you.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like one time, I have an infinity scarf, and the place I worked in was usually always really cold, so I had the infinity scarf pulled up over my head, and I guess it kind of looked like a hijab.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I heard a guy go into my boss's office and ask if I was Muslim, and he's like, "No, I don't think so." And I could hear them talking about me wearing the thing. And I'm just sitting there cracking up. It was like, yeah, feel free to come say something to me.
That's awful.
I know, it's ridiculous.
Mm.
Like I said, we don't even live in the real South. This is Northerners who come here to pretend to be rednecks, and they go way overboard. That's why it's so horrible, in my opinion.
You do realize you just, I think it was inadvertent, but you just kind of insinuated the entire South were rednecks.
I'm a Southerner. I'm allowed to say that.
Oh, okay. That is.
But no, I didn't mean that. I mean that the
I
people
know.
who come down here want to be that way, and everybody who's down here, who's from here, is like stupid Yankees coming down here and acting like idiots.
I know that you didn't mean it.
Right.
It's just that if someone didn't know that you were Southern yourself,
Right.
so that they would, by the way you phrased it, it kind of seemed like that.
So yeah, I didn't mean anything against Southerners.
See, and now you offended Big Kev. It's true, the entire South is rednecks. But from Texas, it's okay.
I'm always offending people, and it's so funny because I'm really not that kind of person. I just seem I'm very socially inept. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on! My stepdad had 3 broken down cars
Oh my god!
in the yard of his house for like over 15 years. So, Aromac, any bully stories coming out soon? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how scary they actually are. Lisa, I'm Italian and I'm proud when I say I'm a Dago. Yeah, I got you. I don't mind that too. And see, Teresa's here in Tennessee with us. You may have mentioned it before, but could I ask where in Tennessee it is again? Because we're in Paris, so right.
I think she was Eastern.
I'll forget again, and it's nothing against you. It's just the way that I am. Oh
yeah.
I know Phantom of Darkness lives in a place called La La Land, but and he hangs out there with the pixies, and because he's a fairy princess.
Yes,
fairy princesses live in La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
So he explained it to me. He explained it all to me one day, and he was explaining exactly as a fairy princess what kind of powers he has.
Oh gosh!
And he has this power. I'm just can go on and on like this.
Well, it's reminding me of when we first got on the CB.
Right.
And we were making up these stories, and those guys got all pissed off at us and get off our channel.
Yeah. just a cute a segue here. Nightmare Files has a story on his channel called "Mind of a Bullied Teenager." So I can't go over there at the moment. But if anybody wants to, I don't even tell people leave the leave
Yeah,
here.
don't tell them to
But
leave.
but after the stream, I suggest maybe you check that out if you want to hear another bully story. Might be interesting. I'll listen to it afterwards as well and leave you a comment. Thanks for letting us know. A stalker video or hitchhiker horror stories. I love hitchhiker ones because and no, before I say anything more about that, his Phantom left us again because you would think after all that stuff I just said,
Mm-hmm.
he would say something.
No,
Nashville.
Nashville.
So you're very
Nashville.
close. You're very close to us then.
Like 2 hours away, yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, we're in Paris, or we're at least going to. Uh, I don't think we'll be here too much longer. I mean, I like Chicago. I mean, don't get me wrong. The state of Tennessee is very beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but I miss home.
Yeah, me too.
I miss Chicago. It's just
The problem
where I
is that
feel.
our
Go ahead.
mom, like, is from down here, but she was displaced to Chicago for so long. So we grew up in Chicago. She wanted to come back here. Now we're down here. We want to go back to Chicago.
Mm,
It's just kind of funny.
okay, well, Adam Miller, I'm going to while I'm doing this, take a note real quick, and I'll look for some hitchhiker stories to do a hitchhiker video. I haven't done one in a while, but
I think you should play that haunted house. Oh, we need to get the thing for the Atari so you can do that one day. You can do that on the stream.
the Atari game. We have an
Coffee,
Atari.
coffee,
We have an
coffee.
Atari 2600. I know I have the AC adapter somewhere, but I thought it would be funny or fun to stream Atari games if there was some way to do that. And there's a certain black cat that happens to be on my cable box right now. So
Where she knows she's not supposed to be.
mhm.
I heard Buffy was barking in a way that indicated that somebody might have been in the driveway, but I can't see anybody.
How old are you, Killer? I know it's personal, but you sound a little older. Um,
He is. He's ancient.
yeah.
I love
Do,
combat.
do,
That
you-
was my favorite.
do you know Mumra? I'm about as old as Mumra. And sometimes I'll even do that thing. I'll transfer into Mumra, the ever living. Ancient spirits of evil. But no, I'm sorry. I don't give out my age. Again, I think I've admitted that I'm probably older than most horror narrators on YouTube. And as I know, yeah, as I know many of them personally, I can tell you for a fact I'm older than most of them. But I don't give out my age again, not because they're gonna think I'm old. I have no problem people thinking I'm old if they want to. I'm not, but
Somebody in Jamie's chat guessed that I'm 40. And I'm like, no. And I said, I'm probably the same age as Jamie. And Jamie's like, I'm not 40.
Rebecca's 45. I'm proud of it. But again, it's the reason I don't do that is because, I mean, think about what is age. Age is nothing more than how many times the Earth has gone around the sun since you were born. I mean, you think about it like that. See, everyone's talking about proud of being their age. They're making me feel bad for not giving out mine.
Well, the funny thing is, the only reason I don't tell people my age is because then they can figure out your age.
Yeah. So I don't get me wrong, guys. See, Aaron Shockley got it right. Age is just a number, and I think that when I give out my age, very often in life, people get very preconceived notions about what kind of person I am. And that gets to me, and that is actually very common. As a psychologist, I know that is that someone tells you your age, you think certain things about them, whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather, you agree. It's like I'd rather somebody get to know me without that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and people can say that's not true, but it is. Even if you try not to. I mean, if I told you I was 60 years old, which I'm, of course, nowhere near, there are things about that you would think about me, whether you wanted to or not. The first thing to pop into your head is, oh, he's a senior citizen. Ah, but what does it actually mean? So I've always been against this whole people defining or people, you know, I didn't even like the concept of an age. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like birthdays. And like I told you all, I had a wonderful birthday. And I think 51 is the new 31. Well, you're right about that though. We're entering a sort of period of time where people are what's the word I'm looking for? Rising above being defined by their age. I've seen people in their 50s who look like they could pass for their 30s and act energetic and wonderful like they are in their 30s
Most
and
people tell
stuff.
me that they think I'm 19.
Mm-hmm.
That always amuses me.
Rebecca's proud to have had big hair and shoulder pads.
Shoulder pads.
No, Adam, don't think. I didn't take it as disrespectful. You don't know me, so you don't know how I am. And whenever anybody asks me, as I'm sure both Evil Black Cat and Amber can attest to, every time somebody asks me their age, I go into the spiel.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah, but no, it's. I didn't take offense to it. In fact, what I sort of take as a compliment because most times I'm told my voice might sound a little younger, but no, I don't. I don't take offense. If I took offense to it, I kick you out of the room.
Pretty much all anybody needs to know is we remember the 80s. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So, I watched the Monday Night Wars from wrestling as they happened. I am immortal. It was so fun. That was just sorry. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I used to play a strawberry shortcake game on the Atari. You remember that? You had to match up the
Keep in mind,
parts.
you also can't age. You can't age us based on the Atari 2600 because we got it many years.
Oh yeah.
We didn't get one until a long time. I mean, the Nintendo Entertainment System had already come out. It had been out for several years before our dad decided to bring us into the late 70s, much later, by getting us Atari 2600.
And that was even before we were actually poor.
Yeah.
Because he was in the Navy still. Once he got out, we were poor.
Yep. And Adam's right. The Monday Night Wars, that was the best entertainment. I just had so much fun during that period of time. Monday nights, always loved it. Started my tradition, which I carry on to this day, where I always have to have pizza on Monday nights.
Mm-hmm.
But back then we'd vary a lot more. Nowadays we just have Totino's pizzas. But back then we'd have French bread pizza or pizza bagels or Totino's pizza. It'd be different all the time. But yep, then there'll be a thing in wrestling that you never see again. So,
and sometimes on very special occasions we order something.
Right. But
or get Tombstone.
But yeah, next thing I order though, next time I spend money on something food wise, I kind of think I want to get something other than pizza, like you were saying earlier.
I know. I mean, I could order a pizza right now, but I'd have to do it within the next 7 minutes. But it's like we've had pizza a lot. They need something else to deliver. Maybe we can send Dogboy to Sonic.
Oh, speaking of pizza and horror stories, there are a ton of like pizza delivery sort of weird. Like
yes.
Huh? Oh.
Pizza delivery stories.
Of course.
Yeah, like with monsters or with weird ghosts.
Have you ever noticed the stories that work really well for horror also work really well for porn? There's a lot of pizza delivery stuff about that too.
This is very true.
I have a few pizza delivery stories, but one of the videos I really had a hard time with was scary winter stories, food delivery in the winter stories. And there was this one where this guy orders Chinese food and makes fun of the Chinese delivery guy and
Mm-hmm.
calls him starts threatening him, be like, come on, Fu Manchu, what you gonna do to me or something like that. And I did not want to I did not want to read that line. It's just like I've had people send me stories that people, and it's not, they're not racist stories, but that'll have a racist word in them, and I just can't say it because
Mm-hmm.
I'll answer the question about pizza, about what I like on pizza in just a moment. But um, I did a very bad thing when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, but you were only 5.
Yeah, but I'll explain to people why I don't use racial slurs.
Mm-hmm.
I was 5 years old. My dad is a total racist. I mean, completely.
Very much.
Completely openly racist. Um, and keep in mind, we do not have contact with him at all anymore. But the so I was very used to hearing, the N word on a pretty regular basis.
Ouch.
Well,
Sorry.
there was an African American family. They knocked on our door and they wanted to talk to my mom. And again, I was 5 years old. I didn't. I was thinking about thinking about my dad, being like my dad. So I slammed the door in their face and I walked over and my mom was like, "Who was at the door?" "Oh, it was just a bunch of," and I said
Inward.
it. To I cannot tell you the severity of the punishment I got for that.
Because while
I
dad is racist, mom is definitely not.
I got my mouth washed out with a bar of Irish Spring soap.
Ugh.
Um, Now keep in mind, I would hope my mom would be the type of person who would know that that's really a bad and dangerous punishment.
No, she knows better now.
But she knows that now. But back then she didn't, and so she washed my mouth out with Irish Spring, and I've not said that word since.
Parents used to wash their kids' mouths out with soap all the time when they swore.
Mm. Well, I mean, it depends. The soap, and there were actually kids who have died during that because there's chemicals in the different kinds of soap. They react different with different people. So there are children who have died from having their mouth washed out with soap, which is why it's a bad punishment. But back then that wasn't a really well known thing that it is possible. Um, I had more Irish Spring than they made in the factory. But yeah, I mean, even if only one kid dies from having their mouth washed out with soap, that's one kid too many.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like the Tide Pod thing.
But yeah, they're neither African nor American. They're black. I was trying to be politically correct when I say that. I hang out. I've had more black friends than I could tell you in my entire life, and they've always insisted that I say black and not
I
African
know.
American. I was just, and I tell you right now, the people in my life that I get along with the most are very, very overweight black women. Are the most fun people in the world. I've hung out with. They connect with me, and it's like we just, wow. It's always had so much fun. But yeah, but I was just trying, when I said that, uh, I was feeling bad about what I said when I was 5, so I was trying to do the exact opposite and be as politically correct as I could in telling the story. Because yeah,
Mhm.
I was only 5 years old, but it doesn't mean I still don't feel bad about it.
Oh
And
well, yeah.
yeah, and thank God I still feel bad about it because I still have never said that word,
Uh
not
huh.
even not even to quote.
Yeah, I'm not even comfortable doing it to quote Mark Twain.
Hmm. Oh yeah, reading Huckleberry Finn was very difficult for me.
Great book though.
Oh yeah. Mm. But okay, somebody was asking me earlier about what I want on what I get on my pizza. You know, it varies. I go through phases. When I was I was living in this beautiful apartment with this bitch. Sorry, I, 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 I have issues still with this person. But I was using Grubhub, if you guys are familiar with that.
Wish we had it here.
I decided to be experimental once, and I got like green olives on my pizza, and I thought that I wouldn't like that. That was delicious. I don't know how that it sounded nasty because I usually like black olives. In fact, I didn't think I got it on purpose. I think it was an accident. I think I
Mm-hmm.
meant to get black olives, but I got green olives. Green olives on a pizza is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I like, I think it'd be easier to say what I don't like on my pizza rather than what I do like. I heck, I'm not even sure what I don't like on pizza. Oh, green peppers. Um, I love green peppers. I absolutely love green peppers. I like raw green peppers, cooked green peppers. I don't know what happens to that damn pepper when you cook it, but cooked green peppers and they become so rubbery and yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of like me and the onion texture. That sometimes, like, I can handle cooked small bits of onion, but big onion, it bothers me.
right.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it's kind of a slimy texture.
Also, sorry, I'm not watching the chat at the moment because I'm looking at the Sonic menu.
Oh, Aaron Mack wants to know of all the stories I tell, what are your personal favorites? Maybe the top five-ish scariest. Well, I mean, my favorite story, I think I've mentioned several times, is well, and that's not saying you should have heard me before because you just probably weren't around. So don't take that the wrong way. But for people who've heard it, my favorite story is a story called Yahoo Stranger Number One, which is a story about two brothers where one brother, they're really close brothers, and uh, one of the brothers, one of the younger brothers starts getting these messages online back from the days of Yahoo Messenger from a person he referred to just as Yahoo Stranger Number One, telling him stay away from your brother Seth, stay away from your brother Seth. Um, and he does if you don't stay away from Seth, I'm gonna do horrible things to you, da 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 da. And he tells his brother about because his older brother started acting really weird and stuff, and he his brother's like, I'll take care of it. So that's the last time he's ever seen his brother. His brother disappeared, and then when after the brother disappeared, they found out that his brother was Yahoo Stranger Number One, and had arguments with himself over messengers. He would sign into the messenger, send himself a message as Yahoo Messenger Number One, sign out, sign into another account, and have detailed arguments with himself. And then uh, the brother disappeared. I believe that was 11 years ago, and they still have not found him. I originally, now the story itself uh, was written by me, but you need to understand that it was written by me, dictated by the younger brother. So it's his
Mhm.
story. It is his story, but he wouldn't feel like he could really write it down. So he dictated it to me, and I wrote it down. And I put it the original reading of that story happened on Let's Read's channel because he asked if I wanted to collaborate with him, and I thought it would be good to put the story on the big channel where more people would hear it. So I did it originally on his channel, and then I did it on my channel. And I think I sent it to the Grimtell brothers. Believe they did it, and Rainer said that he might do it, but I'm not 100% sure if he did. But that is my favorite story. It's probably to me, it's sad and it's creepy. It's a really interesting story that I really it gets me kind of worked up because I'm still in contact with the younger brother. We talk every now and then, and because he knows that a lot of people got invested in the story, so if his brother ever shows up, he wants to let them know. But there's to this day absolutely no idea what happened to him. He just disappeared. Hello, Killer Orange Cat. Sue from Wisconsin. Swamper said you should go to his live stream right now. He said he loves you, man. Well,
Mhm.
if you're to go back to him, tell him I love him too. But it's I'd love to take part, but I'm going to be here for about another hour. He's a great guy. He does. I guess he. Wait, okay. See, I hadn't heard that story. Oh, I'm sorry if I gave it away. Then, um, I heard the story about the homeless man wanting to show the kids his dogs, the pile of dead dogs. You know, I really liked that story. That was a fun story to read, and I think I like it because one of the more a lot of the stories they kind of follow similar things, similar patterns. That one was so unique. In fact, the Yahoo Stranger one I thought was pretty unique too. But I mean, the guy, it's just there's just some kids hiking out in the woods and stuff, and they're walking along the road, and this weird guy comes out from under the tunnel. Want to play with my dogs? And they only know how to play dead. There's a pile of dead dogs. It's like, ugh. I shudder thinking about it right now.
This
But I
story is
love.
so wrong.
I
That
had
is.
yeah, I had fun reading it though.
They did doing the voice for the guy.
Oh, the voice was so over the top though.
It was fun.
Yeah. And there was another one. I'm trying to think about. There was another story I remember that I really had fun reading because it was sometimes people will put lines into their stories that are just really 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 fun to do. Um that's the one to play with my dogs one I remember the most though.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, that's another one of my favorites. There Gosh, there's so many. It's hard to really tell. Oh,
Hmm.
the probably the one that scared me the most, and it did scare me, is there was this story um about an abandoned hospital that this happened. This is in one of my Halloween videos. Abandoned hospital that the kids there was supposed to be it was supposed to be a psychiatric hospital, of course, is horror, so of course it's going to be a psychiatric hospital.
Mhm.
But the psychiatric hospital closed down, and apparently they have an urban legend in that town that that one of the psychiatric patients was never taken out because he was so crazy. They didn't want to release him because it's happened before. Illinois at one point had closed down all of their state-run psychiatric institutions, and all they did was just release the patients. Um, so it does happen, but they decided that they couldn't release this one patient because he was just too crazy. So they left him in this room, strapped down to a what do you call it, gurney, and left him there. So, and they called him Chuckles, I think, something like that. And I hope I'm not getting two stories mixed up either. I feel bad if I did. But on Halloween, of course, the kids, all 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, they dare each other to go into the hospital and spend time in the
Mhm.
hospital. So one guy's being all, trying to prove that he's got the biggest balls in the group,
Mhm.
and it's like just unzip your pants. You can prove it much faster that way. But so they tell him, do it. If you're so brave, go in there. So the guy's like, okay, I'll go in there, and when I come out, I'm gonna laugh at all you pansies. So he goes in there. 20 minutes passes, he doesn't come out. An hour passes, he doesn't come out. 2 hours passes. The kids are really getting kind of freaked out here. Now, keep in mind that what they think at this point is that the kid is trying to scare him, thinking, "Oh, if he doesn't come back out, ooh, we're gonna." And then once we call the police or something, and we find out he's okay, or he snuck out of the hospital, out of the back of the hospital, and went home. So the kids eventually have to call the police because they're freaked out as hell now that something not only did something happen to them, but they're going to be held accountable for it. So the police look throughout the thing; they're nowhere there. They call his parents. He's not at home. Several days actually start to pass at this point, and he doesn't show up. He walked into the hospital and just disappeared. And I remember reading that story when it was submitted to me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm putting that in there. That's number one. That one." So I don't. It's kind of scary. It's hard to say scary. It's hard for me to get scared. I'm not bragging. I'd love to be able to get scared more easily than I do, but I am sort of desensitized because I spend so much time around so much horror. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it can happen. But that one, oh yeah, that one got me. So that's three. It was think about five. The Gamorrean guard story, the one that Chills thought was happened to me, where the person is on Halloween and has a migraine and lays down and thinks they're having sleep paralysis when the goblin comes into the room and starts taking things and leaves. And then they find out later that it wasn't, because this is someone who has sleep paralysis and migraines quite often. And they find out later it was somebody in a Halloween costume who broke into the house and stole stuff. And I find that one pretty odd.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think, there was a, no, there's, and I mean, that one's always going to hold a special place in my heart just because of watching top 15s and always hearing Chills. I'll never get out of my head. Redditor killer orange cat, and I was just sitting there and like, wait. Did I just hear that right? Someone is actually. I think the first thing I thought was somebody was stealing my name. And I was like, no, it's my name. And there was another story in one of my first videos, actually one of my most watched videos. Three or four scary stories about children, parents who don't listen to their children, where the children claim there's like a monster in their closet, and what it happens to be is there's like an attic opening in the closet, and there was actually somebody in the attic that was coming down into the closet
Oh.
and stuff. That one, and I think a dog. I think they had like a cocker spaniel named Sandy or something that ran into the closet and got killed. And that was when the first people started. That's why I started putting animal disclaimers on my videos when animals get hurt, because
Mhm.
so many people were mad at me for not warning them about that. It's like, I'm like, it's a horror channel.
I know.
I mean, horrible things. Oh, good night, Arta. I hope you have a wonderful. Artemis is going to bed, so I hope you sleep very well and don't have any sleep paralysis. And remember, check on your closet and under your bed, because the boogeyman named Ichigo, that orange cat, might be there, because I don't see him right now. If I don't see the killer orange cat, that means he might be there.
Hey, all I've got is a big collie, big chicken collie.
Oh yeah, she'll be a good alarm. I think it was Sadie. Yeah, I think you're right, Sadie. That makes more sense. The name of the dog. If you remember the story, Scarlet Witch, was it a cocker spaniel? I mean, I wish that I could remember, but I have like close to 250 videos with an average of 3 stories. So that's like about 750 videos altogether. I'm checking in my pants too. If Ichigo was in your pants, you'd know it. But yeah,
It'd be kind of hard not to know.
so I mean, it's actually more than 750 stories if you think about it. So a lot of times they kind of start, unfortunately, running in and out of my head and kind of like blending together, which I don't mean to. I try, and I would love to be able to completely keep track of them. But of course, there are ones that do just totally stick in my mind. There was one. There was one about these kids that were in an abandoned hospital, and they heard all these noises. The police came. I remember that was a very recent one. I was about to say I remember that one pretty clearly, but obviously I don't. I don't know what that was. Was it something by me?
It
Something
sounded like
fell.
it came from out there.
Well, no, it was. I was asking him. Him. It was probably something. Maybe something fell off my desk or something.
It must be. I don't know.
I think the little he's been calling his cat the little bit. I've been calling him the little shit because
Calling him little bastard.
All over the place.
no has
Actually, he's got better about that.
no. That's not why I call him that. I call him the little shit because he's a pain in the butt. I think I don't know if I've mentioned this people before, and don't hate me for this, but I'm not a big fan of kittens. I like full grown cats. I love full grown cats. I'm just not the biggest fan of kittens. They're too yes, they're cute and they do cute things, but they can be really annoying. And and the ones that meow a lot. And Drew is an adult. She's a very meowy cat, but it doesn't really bother me as much as a kitten's meow. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike kittens. I just saying I prefer them when they're grown up. When Ichigo was a kitten, oh my god, he was so annoying. We almost got rid of him. We almost and it wasn't because he was annoying as much as it was that we just already had 3 cats.
Yeah, we had so many cats, and I felt so guilty. The funny thing is, I rescued him, and yet I felt guilty for bringing him into the house when I didn't have the money, and was more dependent on you. So,
and keep in mind, she didn't feel guilty because I made her feel guilty about it.
No, no.
It probably, but yeah, Bitty Bitty is going. Good night. So much love back to you, and hope you have a good night and sleep well. And remember, I still don't see that orange cat, so he might be around.
In fact, you were the one who convinced me not to get rid of him. Then I felt better about that when you said keep him.
Right. She was gonna. I think I'll get it. It's like, no, I think I kind of like the little guy. But yeah, I mean, as much as I did like him, I prefer him as a full grown cat. So, and I'm sure the 2 new ones in here, which don't really bother me that much. I exaggerate, but I'll prefer them when they're full grown cats. No, Ichigo definitely is not a small cat. He's probably a good 25 pounds. And I don't know if I'm being conservative on that or not.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm bad at that kind of thing.
Right.
I'd have to actually weigh him. But if I picked him up, he'd feel like at least half of Buffy.
Oh, wow.
And she's like 50 pounds, which is only because she's chunky. She should only be level 40.
So, Amber,
I'm really hungry.
Well, you can get something to eat. I mean,
well, if David would show up, I would see if he'd run Dog Boy by Sonic.
Yeah,
I think we could get a lot for $14 at Sonic.
Probably. So, Amber, you're kind of quiet over there. What's going on?
Not much. Just listening to you guys chattering.
Okay. Well, just don't feel like
I'm kind of annoyed because my fan broke. Like it's making this really high pitched noise. So I guess I have to try to somehow sleep without it tonight. I think I'll open the window if the air conditioner doesn't come on. But there'll be a little bit of background noise anyway. But it's gonna be kind of annoying. I'm gonna get someone to look at it tomorrow. It's too late now.
Yeah. No, I still plan on doing I still plan on doing our stream that we talked about, last week. Just, I think everything came together at the point, because you said you were, like out at the beach or something?
No, just out in the backyard.
Oh, just out in the backyard.
And I just got a lot of sun, so I just got really drowsy really quickly.
Yeah.
So I just passed out. I had a good sleep, though. Like, it was worth it. I guess my body needed that, extra sleep.
Yeah, that's the little black kitten's here. He's on his back paws. He's fighting my slipper.
You show that slipper who's boss.
But we were planning on doing like a marathon stream, which we decided not to do this weekend. Doesn't mean we won't do it, but So, but yeah, kittens are doofy and are a lot of work. That is true. But Amber, are there any like horror stories that you've heard that, or your favorites that you've heard at least?
I listen to a lot. I'm kind of like you. Like they all kind of blend together the more you listen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and lately, I've been listening to all of. I've been sort of like binging Creepy Fox's videos, and he has like 10, 15 stories per video.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, it's like, and So it
Let's
does that too.
see.
Yeah.
Who are my? Well, Phantom of Darkness. I listened to his videos. Recently, Vitus 22. Um, who else? Those are the two top like week. Last week's video stalking. I went on. So
Hmm. I've noticed. Have you noticed that sometimes I notice that there's sort of a there's sort of a
Yeah.
like a ceiling that some people put on their horror. That
what do you
if it
mean?
Well, it seems that a lot of people, again, like the animal things happen to animal stuff. That some people don't want to listen to horror that they heard an animal get hurt in some way. Um,
Yeah, that is kind of hard. It's really difficult to listen to. I don't
and
care if it's horror or not. I don't want to hear about it.
and there are a few stories that I've read where somebody gets killed, and there hasn't been many, but there have been some, and they are sort of the responses I sometimes get when I have them makes me feel a little strange because again it's horror. You're coming here to hear horror. Now, like I warn people about the animals. I won't warn people about actual death of a
Well,
human
I think
being.
people get killed in horror stories more than animals do, which is
Right.
good because animals are better.
Your fans are getting a lot of sympathy in the room. A lot of people are giving you a lot of giving your fan a lot of love.
It's old.
Hmm.
I need a new one.
I remember when I back when when I lived in an apartment that didn't have air conditioning. I went out myself and bought myself this little tiny little fan, but it really made a difference.
Well, my reasoning for the fan isn't so much because I'm in the basement, so it's cooler anyway. My reasoning is more for the extra noise, so that I don't hear other noise.
Yeah.
Like it's so.
Oh yeah. See, I do that too. And sometimes the noise of a fan will help me sleep.
But it's weird though, because I was saying about how it was really hot lately. Well, for living in Canada, like a lot of people think like when they think Canada, they think oh it's like always cold and like igloo territory and stuff.
Yeah.
It's been like hot lately, like in like 30s, in the 30 Celsius, which is like 80 Fahrenheit.
I'm not good at that.
Me neither.
Yeah, I've had way too much programming to see, that I just never been able to. Now meet like the metric system is, meters, meters, grams, liters and stuff. I can get that. I know I just made a mistake, but the metric system, I included grams, but with I realized the moment I did, I'm like, you idiot. Um, but the metric system I get, usually pretty easy, but the Celsius still throws me. I did see a question here that is interesting. That Aromac asked another one. Do I believe in out of body experiences? Uh, I find them interesting, and I believe that they happen because the people who explain that they've had them always seem completely sincere. Um, do I believe that they were really out of their body, or they possibly could have? The problem with it is that it's been simulated, and that's the problem with that one. I don't know if you know that, but they've been able to push a person's body to a point, using I forget what the machines are called. The ones that astronauts have to be in, where they're inside the thing that spins around, around, and around, and around, and around. That they've actually been able to simulate an out of body experience.
That just sounds kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Well, I guess all astronauts have to use that in their training to begin with. but I guess they when they spin it at a certain speed, they've been able to induce an out of body experience. But see, the funny thing about that is that doesn't disprove that happened though. I mean, that's what the people who've seen them seem to think, but technically, it doesn't disprove it. It just proves that you can simulate it. Because who knows if people when they have out of body experiences, if they really are going out of body, maybe you cause such trauma to the body that it happened.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah, being able to simulate something that way doesn't disprove it. The other one, Black Mirrors, the ability to see spirits in the dark through a mirror for communication. No, but I'll try it.
Mhm.
That might be fun. Maybe I'll do a little video. I mean, I did that Bloody Mary challenge thing that people were daring me to do Bloody Mary chants in different places, and I did 2 videos, but there didn't seem to be a whole lot of interest. So
Well, it's kind of like an old '90s thing now. So it's, I mean, unless you have a new generation of kids, but by then there's new urban legends and new things for those kids to latch onto.
right, you know, this just reminded me of a story. There was one story where it was like I think it was called Bloody Ted, where this it was supposed to be this story about um about a Bloody Mary type spirit, but it doesn't come out right away. It waits till you go to sleep, and then it crawls out of the mirror and crawls into your room.
Now that's freaky.
Mhm. One of the stories I wrote for the channel did that, and just unfortunately, on the night that it happened, that the kids did it, someone broke into their house. So think about that.
Lovely.
Being like 13 years old and hearing and doing that little ritual and thinking something could happen and actually having someone break into the house, and you knew at that moment he must have thought, holy shit, Bloody Ted is real. Kevin has been able to astral project since he was around 16 and written multiple poems about his experiences. Well, you've never shared any of them with me, you bitch. I know Kevin really well, so he knows I'm just teasing him. My cats own me. Yes, they do. I don't even know your cats, but I know they own you.
um,
Drusilla right now is lying on top of the cable box, staring at me. It's very unnerving.
I'm trying to decide what to get us for dinner,
Okay.
and I'm not really familiar with Sonic enough. Do you have any idea what you want? Should we just get a bunch of chili dogs or something?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had anything at Sonic that I don't like.
I know, right?
Yeah. Kevin's going to share his poems. Yay. I wish I could do like the Kermit the Frog thing. Yay. I like Kermit the Frog. And that reminds me of the Orville, which I look forward to seeing.
Oh, I love that. I actually
yeah.
think I have 4 more episodes.
Oh, okay. You're still going through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the first episode, second were kind of slow, but then it got very interesting as it went on. And I don't care. Go ahead.
My main thing is because it's Seth MacFarlane and he's my celebrity crush. So like nothing he can do is bad.
Yeah, I do like him quite a bit. Let me think. I seen it the other day, wasn't it? My favorite scary storyteller, best voice of all. Did you mean me or somebody else? If you meant me, I'll be happy. If you didn't mean me, I'll cry. You don't want to hear me cry. When I cry, it's just awful. It's just like, you never want to experience it again.
He's not a pretty crier.
No, it's really ugly, and I do the.
Hey, Joe Swanson.
Hi, Jet.
Oh my God!
Your
Why did I
daddy's
do
come
that?
pick you up.
I'm sorry. I don't need to ever do that again.
Is that too much for you?
That just my eyes are watering. I don't know what happened there. Okay, guys, don't ever try to simulate sobbing. Wow. That was something else. But Kermit's newsflash is funny as heck from Sesame Street. Oh yeah, I
No,
loved
but
him.
remember the Joe Swanson cry when he was trying to catch on a Family Guy.
Oh yeah, when he didn't catch when he was and they were all leaving the leaving the bar. They
Yeah,
were all sneaking out of the bar because he was crying so badly.
and we all like started that just like got all my friends, like we all just cracked up hysterically.
Unfortunately, I haven't cried much, so that's good. Invader Jill has had an out of body experience during intense depersonalization, derealizations episodes. It's disturbing, but personally, I think it's a cognitive mishap and not really being outside. Well, that's usually what I will. You're just gonna let her stay up there, aren't you?
What am I supposed to do? It's true.
You could take her down. I haven't been able to take her down because I'm streaming.
No.
Yeah, but she's in charge of him.
Oh. She's like, I've been up there for like 2 hours. Now you take me down. KOC is the best storyteller. Well, thank you, Nicole. Yeah, I tend to. Invader Jill says I tend to lean more towards that, but again, I don't know. There are things that have happened uh, that I look at in life, which tells me there's got to be something else going on. Let's just say I dabbled into some stuff that I probably shouldn't have dabbled into, and very specific to try in the past to cause very specific things to happen, and those very specific things happened very specifically, and so that kind of makes me think. It makes me wonder. So I don't really know. It's hard to tell what else there might be going on in the world and the universe. God, I'm getting a lot of like extra sound from the other microphone. Doesn't turn a microphone off when she like leaves around. It's like you hear what's going on in the other room. If I was interested in spying on people, I actually used to
Yeah,
have.
there you go.
There's a few things, as I think I mentioned. There's a few stories that happened to me, and when I write them out, I'm always like thinking, God, I've lived a messed up life. But one of them was when I was a manager at Borders, and there was this guy dressed as a bee who came into the store, and he's roughing around like talking to people, and I get like I'm in the back, and I get a.
I'll be back on the stream now. Let me know if you need anything.
I get the. Sorry, that just really distracted me. I get the notification there because I was the manager. I was the only manager there. And, Jake, call this line. So I called this line, and I already know what's going on because I'm looking through the security cameras. There's some guy dressed as a bee harassing the customers.
I remember the guy.
He goes up to like the cashier and hands him a note that says "Big B says you're dead." So I don't know. Was that voluntary hyperventilation? That was me, and that was me simulating a sob, and then my lungs just couldn't take it. I'm never doing that again. Oh, hey Wade Wilson, how you doing? You always say you missed it, so I'm glad you don't catch much because we're only going to 11, but which is 27 minutes. Of course, I'm not keeping you guys here any longer than you want to be. I could just talk to myself.
I'm having fun. I'd be here longer. Whatever.
But at least you got a little bit. And but yeah, no, that was just me being stupid, simulating the sob, and paying the price, paying the price for doing so.
That was funny at your expense.
Yeah, you should be. You definitely. Wait, what?
I said there's enough crying that goes on in this house. That's why the world punished you for trying to pretend to be crying.
He said there's enough crying that goes on in this house that the world punished me for pretending it. Shut up. Which is not.
Is he talking about himself?
It's just being a drama queen.
Oh, it was more a comment on me.
I know that's what we're saying.
Yeah. I cry like a bitch.
Yeah, but you heard that, I guess. But
Yes.
you also said that you think that it's good that you cry as much as you do.
I said it is because I can't cry, or at least it's very difficult for me.
Yeah, the 8 hour show we did. Well, we
Oh.
actually me and Amber actually did 9.5 hours the other day.
Yeah, that was last
Mm,
Saturday.
I think it was
Last
less. Yeah, something around there. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, and we want to do. Well, like I said, we'll probably eventually do a marathon one that we're planned on doing. But when I do it, one of the reasons I decided not to do it today is because I wanted other people, other narrators, to be here and to maybe come in for a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. That's easier to do on a Saturday than on a Sunday.
Oh my gosh, somebody
And
bought a technical difficulty shirt.
oh,
Yay,
that's
thank
good.
you.
I wanted to get Grimtail Brothers had a story they wanted to read. Yeah, I mean, mostly the what we were doing for there was me flirting with everybody in the room and people trying to make guesses on my sexuality, which was really funny. Speaking of that, one of my very first subscribers, who I hadn't heard from in a long time, comes to my channel. To, it was probably on my birthday, and as you know, I flirt with guys and girls like all the time. It doesn't really matter. I flirt with people is the way I look at it. Oh my god, if you guys saw the conversations that me and Nordic Vampire have,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just we're just flirty people, and I've always been that way.
He
But
hasn't messaged me tonight. I wonder why.
not sure. But Jonathan Alexander, who was in the room earlier, and I've mentioned, I absolutely adore the guy. He 2 years ago gave me several donations that bought this computer. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
my channel would not be. It would be a lot worse with this
Your
computer.
computer would be about in the state of mind.
Right. And so I always appreciate that. And we always flirt. We always have, and it's fine and stuff. And there's no implications other than we're friendly with each other. I've talked to him a little bit behind the scenes. He has a kid and has told me a little bit about his life, but we're not serious about it. We're just having fun. And I think I said something in the comment where, oh yeah, that's what he said. It was the grinder video, and so he says, I bet KOC has a lot of grinder stories he can tell us, and I'm like, well, why don't you come over and I'll tell you some. And then Austin Lidster, that's the name of one of my very first subscribers, who I hadn't seen in years. Um, he used to compete with Rebecca Adams as to who was my number one fan, and I only said it was him at one point because he seemed to be very upset. I thought it'd make him feel better. I don't normally. I would never say, "Ooh, you're my number one fan," because why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
But he goes in capital letters like "Killer Orange Cat," you're gay with several exclamation points afterwards. And since somebody else responds under it and says, "So what?" And it's like I don't think he was like trying to be mean
Mm-mm.
or anything. He was just trying. I think Austin was trying to do what me and Jonathan was doing. I think he was almost trying to join into it. I could be wrong. I really could be. And he went down, and I'm like, would it bother you if I was? And he hasn't answered yet. But then he almost never does that. So I'm kind of curious as to what he'll say. But then Jonathan comes back and says, "Hey, you don't understand it. Killer Orange Cat transcends sexuality." It's like, see, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's the way that I am. It says, just want to say that I'm really glad for the computer because otherwise KC would be using my computer. That's true. And in Tennessee is hell for you, but I'm not going to insult it because I have several people in here that I love from Tennessee, including one who's donated several things. So Tennessee produces some very wonderful people, and it is a beautiful place.
It is very
But it
beautiful.
it's very beautiful. Just doesn't mean it's for
And
us.
we're not really in the best part of town.
Can you say in your own unique voice? Wait, I'm gonna read it before I say it.
Oh, you know what that is.
I know that.
Princess Bride.
Oh,
When
I'm
he's fighting the
sorry.
giant.
You mean you'll put down your rock and I'll put down my sword and try to kill each other like civilized people? Yeah, it's probably not one of my favorite lines from The Princess Bride.
It's a good one though.
No, you matter. You matter, and you live in Tennessee. So, if you want, I'll kick him out of the room. Just all you got to say the word, and he's gone. He's actually in the actual room with me, so he's,
You
I'm.
literally have to kick me.
I'd have to go over there and kick him, but if you want me to, I will. It's up to you, Teresa.
Do it. Go
I
punch him.
no, I said it was up to Teresa.
Ah.
She wants me to kick him, I will. But yeah, it's the reason I probably didn't know it is the princess. No, she doesn't want to. So, but
Ah.
the Princess Bride is a great and quotable movie. I just wasn't the one that really jumped up into my head. Uh, um, you know, um, I didn't mean to jog him so hard. That's a good one.
I am the brute squad.
You are the brute squad. um,
Will it work? It would take a miracle.
I'm not gonna do Indigo Montoya, so don't ask. Um,
You have to say it every time you're in a sword fight, though.
yeah, I'm really I can you record the kicking? If I do it, I will. But Teresa said no, and it was completely up to her. I'm sorry, I called you a him. I was
Actually,
looking
you
at
said heh.
I was looking at Big Kev say kick him, and so him jumped into my head. But yeah,
You
the
know,
I don't know. And there's other movies I quote more. I don't think I quote Princess Bride very much.
I'm pretty sure every woman on the internet has been mistaken for a man.
Oh,
Maybe
I do constantly.
Because everybody always
'Cause I
just
have short
assumes.
hair, so.
I quote Monty Python and the Holy Grail often.
This is true.
Oh, Teresa, thank you. You're just on a spending spree tonight.
You were very awesome, though.
Is that because I didn't kick him?
Yes, Andre was great. If you haven't seen the documentary on HBO, if you can, you should check that out. It's really good.
Well, this actually might surprise people, but I haven't seen it yet
I
because
haven't seen the whole thing.
I promised to watch it with a certain somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, we watch it together, but a certain
You're not talking to
somebody.
me, are you?
No,
Oh, I was gonna say because I don't recall you ever saying that because I would have watched it with you, but
no.
I only watched like an hour. I mean, I watched a little bit of it. I meant to go back to it. It
How
started lagging out.
how about the movie The Room for being quotable? I'm not sure if I know that movie
Me either.
because I love family and we should have that fried fish dinner soon.
Mm.
Yeah, I want that. But I mean, I like a quote. I'll tell people sometimes if they don't do something, I'll say knee.
If you want a cheap, fun game, there is a game called Insult Simulator,
Is
and
it
a
simulating
lot of it,
insults?
yeah, a lot of it is from Monty Python. You take words and put them together to insult each other, and it is British people, and it's hilarious.
Oh, that sounds funny.
It's cheap and it's fun, and it's even online. You can go online and fight to insult people.
Okay, Kev, if you actually do that, then I'll do it. So Kev says that if I kick that in the next live stream, he'll pay me $20 to kick you. I figure you have no problem with that. He's not listening. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. That's actually could be a fun line. Fried fish. Oh, stop talking about fried fish. No, if you do that, I'll kick him for you.
Anybody want a peanut?
It's a fun line, especially since Andre the Giant is part, and he responds that he has the advantage. I don't even exercise. Yeah, personally for me, Andre the Giant, and it's probably not a surprise because I'm a wrestling fan. But Andre the Giant made that movie,
Mm-hmm.
so there were other things that were great, but that was my favorite. He was just enjoyable. We're 2 hours, so I hope we can all go meet up at your favorite fish place.
I used to have a teddy bear, a great big teddy bear named Andre. I loved that teddy bear.
Oh
And
yeah, I remember
when
him.
I moved back from North Carolina and David packed my stuff, he just ditched it.
Yeah, he's done stuff like that.
I mean, thank God I have Greenie, but
Okay, okay, you guys want to hear a horror story? I'll tell you a horror story. When I was 10 years old, I think we had my brother and sister who their birthdays are really close together. We
mhm.
had a birthday at Chuck E. Cheese, and they had these games, and you could win. They're like carnival games. You could win stuffed animals in them. And there was this one where you had to throw these balls, and is a tic tac toe with wiffle balls. I'm sure you've seen it. And if you get the three middle ones, you would win a big stuffed animal, or relatively big for So I paid for it, and on my very first try, I've always proud of this, bragged about it for many years. I won the stuffed animal, and it was a stuffed parrot. And I was really obsessed with birds back then, so I got I think it was probably like 9, and I got this parrot, and I was so happy, and then I brilliantly named it Perry, um, because Perry the parrot, and I didn't. That parrot was not away from me from a single night. Slept with it every single night. Um, when I was 13 years old, my dad told my brother to burn it, and what they did was they locked me in the basement of the house where I couldn't get out and do anything, and stood by the door to the basement, which had windows, with the parrot in one hand and a lighter in the other hand, laughing at me, and went and
Mhm.
burned the parrot.
Wow, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah. Now,
They thought he was too old to be playing with stuffed animals, and when I cried, they comforted me instead of him, and I felt so bad about that.
yep. That's what it was. But I think it's more than just that. My dad is just an awful human being.
Oh yes, he is.
And it's the type of thing that you don't really want to say that, but when you give somebody chance after chance after chance after chance after chance,
It's here.
and they continue to prove to be an awful human being, then
Buffy,
they're an awful human
Buffy,
being.
hush.
And I still have a little bit of PTSD from that. It was, I mean, who would do that to their child? And
Exactly.
thanks, Lex. Thanks everybody too. But God, sorry guys, someone's here. The dog is barking. Put her out. Yeah, thank you. But the sorry about that, everybody. But so yeah, so oh God, I was completely and utterly traumatized. Now my brother has apologized for it. My dad has not, because he's so. But in fact, the funny thing is he's the type of person that what he does at that point is he denies it ever happened. So,
I do not know.
but it would have been when I was in high school, and I told my best friend Stephanie at the time. I told her about it. She went out and bought me a stuffed parrot for
Aw.
yeah. Actually, I wrote a little children's book about it where her nickname was Spoon. So I wrote this little children's book about a goblin who kidnaps a kid's parrot, and the magical spoon fairy comes, and the magical spoon fairy comes and rescues the parrot. So it was a little children's book that I wrote. I don't know where the heck it is, but I wrote it a long time ago. It's probably saved on one of my hard drives. I have like a million hard drives. But and I'm sorry, Kelly, that Kelly's stepdad used to fuck with her stuffed animals. That's awful. I apologize. The dog is a collie. There's a skunk outside. The cats aren't happy. You know,
Mm.
you may think that I'm weird, but You know, I kind of like the smell of skunks. I always have. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want a skunk in my house. I don't want to be sprayed by a skunk, and I don't want to be close to a skunk. But a distant skunk smell, I've always kind of liked.
It kind of makes you feel like you're in the country.
Yeah, true. You know, me and my cousin Angie, who were about the same age, uh, we used we were kids when our parents would take us to the gas station when we're going somewhere to go to the gas station. We'd roll down the window and stick our heads out to smell the gasoline. Oh, the gasoline smells so good. Oh God, it smells great.
I do
Um,
that too.
oh, I love the smell of gasoline, but now that I know the dangers of smelling gasoline, you know, it it's I also remember when I was in high school one day they in gym class they painted the locker room and all the guys were like, "Hey, God, that smells great. Let me go hang out there." It's like, what the hell are you guys doing to your brains there? Distant isn't bad up close. You'll cry. Seriously, no, Vina, you're 100% correct. A distant skunk, yes. A skunk. I've had skunks very close to me. When they are, that I do not like. But when they're far enough away, you can get a little bit of the smell. It's cool. What do skunks smell like? Is there anything we can really compare them to?
No, not
She,
really.
she forgot to turn her mic off again. Hey, could you let me? Can you mute the
It's
mic or
almost
something?
midnight here, so I think I'm gonna head out. But
Well,
it was
yeah, we're
great
gonna.
hanging out.
Yeah, I was gonna stop pretty soon anyway. So
Alrighty,
you
well,
wanted
I
to go
will.
ahead and leave.
Okay.
We'll. Like I said, we'll still do our fun one. This was sort of just
It was great hanging
filling
out,
one.
though. I had fun.
As I said, you're always welcome. You're always
Alrighty.
welcome every single time. So
Awesome. I
it's
will
okay.
take you up on that.
All right. Well, then everyone say bye to Amber, and you have a great night.
Bye, everyone. I had
And
fun.
bye.
Hope you had fun.
Thanks for being
Yeah.
here. Yes, I did. Always
Yeah.
have fun.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Alrighty. Night.
All right. Ever smelled super cheap weed? Kind of like that, but on steroids. You know, yeah, that's probably Invader Jill actually did it. I think that was exactly right. Um, so uh, anyhow, yeah. So goodbye to Amber. Like I said, we're gonna do a different one. This was sort of a kind of all over the place stream. Hey, KOC, how's the progress on the Crushed Nuts collection? Um, well, if you read my grinder video, read my video. Yes, go read my video. If you go listen to the grinder video, there is there's not a crushed nuts thing in there, but there is an attempted penectomy in one of the videos. Uh, I can't let my reputation go to waste. So no, I will do that, Wade. I will definitely do a video. And that will be that will be the theme. Scary stories about getting your nuts crushed. So if anybody, and I'm sure Kevin has about 500 stories of getting his nuts crushed. If anybody has stories like that, send them in. I'll do a video. I'm going to read the video. Yeah, make fun of me. I know where you live. I don't really know where you live, but uh, no. But yeah, I'll do that. They call it skunk weed for a reason. Do skunks smell like skunk spray? Yeah, but to a lesser extent. Crushed Nuts video would be the only video I would not listen to. Sorry. Oh, come on. I can give you my address. I'm swearing vengeance upon you, and you're going to give me your address. I. That's gonna like that. I'm sorry. You should listen to it, Kevin. Come on. And like I said, I'm sure you have several stories that fit the category, don't you? I opened in a new tab. How do I read it? You guys, let's not give me. You can turn. I'm sure you guys make mistakes sometimes too. But no, it's he sprayed and ran away. Well, I'm glad the outside cats are fine. Really glad the outside cats are fine. No, as far as skunks go, have been close up to some skunks because there was a period of time where I was kind of homeless for a period of time, and I was staying in this guy's apartment, and it was a difficult time for me, so I wasn't sleeping well, and I had some hot dogs, and I went outside and I fed the skunks, and they came up really close to me, close enough that I can give them the hot dogs, and didn't spray me or anything, and they were really friendly. Big Kev does have a couple crush nuts story, but he still wouldn't listen. Most painful thing ever. Well, how about instead of listening, you just write one of the two stories out for me, and I'll go ahead and do that. And maybe the reason I'm so cavalier about the whole crush nuts thing is I've never experienced it. I'm that fortunate. I know um, almost every guy has had that sort of story, but thank God I have really quick reactions. So anyone who's tried to do that to me has failed considerably. So maybe that's why I'm so cavalier about the whole thing. Hey, that kid Kelly, how you doing? You're in here kind of like at the last couple of minutes, but glad to
I'm
see
back
you.
for just the very end.
Just the very end, but a few 4 minutes. But here we have all the guys in here who are telling me their pain of their crushed nuts experience. Twisted Tales, oh my god, eye popping pain. Wade Wilson says I'm freaking lucky that I've never had it happen to me.
Okay, Teresa, I totally read that differently.
Read what you love your breasts. Oh, okay. Love your beasts. Now I know Kelly has had a crush nuts experience before. I'm pretty sure.
You remember that time that David tried to put me in the figure 4?
Oh yeah.
And we got into a position. I didn't want him to do it because these guys always did wrestling moves on me, and they were always like, "Oh, it won't hurt. It won't hurt. It always freaking hurt." Well, anyway, we got in the position where he ended up being on the floor, and I was above him with his legs spread, and I stomped on his nuts.
Hickory nut crunch. Lex, I can tell you a story of hitting someone nuts. That's what I'm saying. Send me the stories. I will do. I promise Wade Wilson I would do it. And I will call it scary nut crushing stories, because I'm sure that every guy who listens to that video, see, I got it right that time, just listens to the video, because we don't care about the video part. We care about the audio. Will be scared. So that kid Kelly, are you gonna Wade? You want me? Wait. Oh, what fun! It was your idea.
I know, right?
Are you gonna send me your story?
Jet.
Are you gonna send me your story, Wade?
He'll be back. Don't worry about it.
Twisted Tail's legs are crossed right now. Are you gonna send me your tail twisted? T squared. That's what I'm gonna call you. I call Mortis Media M squared, so I can call you T squared. But send me your story. Gene, hey Gene, how you doing? Just came for a quick hello. Can't stay. Love you, miss you. I love you, miss you too. But don't worry, you wouldn't be able to stay too long anyways, because I only got a couple minutes left before we're gonna end, so we can get something to eat.
Pretty kitty cat. Get off the keyboard, Jet.
Yes, Lex, you can DM it to me.
Jet, get off
Kevin,
the keyboard.
Big Kev, I was kicked so hard one time, so unexpectedly that I was lifted at least 6 inches off the ground. I made absolutely no noise. I just passed out and woke up 15 minutes later. Wow.
Yeah.
If I go
on the table, right?
KFC,
Yeah.
I appreciate your answers. Thank you, and thank you for your
card, yeah.
No, thank you for everything, and thank everybody who's donated, and thank everyone who hasn't. Thank everyone who's been here.
Yeah,
Everybody,
just for being here, sharing all of that good stuff.
it's fun. I know we didn't get done a lot of things that I was saying. I was going to have some scary stories read live. I will do some live readings on the next one, and I'm going to try to get other narrators to come in here and do live readings of stories too. So that'll probably be on Saturday. I'm trying my best to stick to that. So if you want to know when it happens, just keep a lookout on Twitter, and I will probably upload a video right before the stream, so people who normally don't follow Twitter or won't know may be in. So maybe we'll get a bigger one.
Computer, honey.
But yeah, that kid Kelly, I look forward to hearing your story. That loud guy in the background. But I love you too, and I love all you guys. I want to thank everybody who's been here. Thanks for your continued support. And just do that thing where you check in your closet and under your bed, because I've not seen that cat for several hours now.
He'll
So
be snuggling with me tonight since Jet's gone home.
well, possibly, but he might be snuggling with you tonight. But right now, he might be out there causing trouble. So make sure, just promise me, guys, you'll check around for him. And that kid Kelly, I look forward to hearing that with a towel. I'm really, really interested. But good night, everybody. Love you all, and love you too, Rebecca. Love you too, Vina. Love everybody. Could go through the entire list, but I love you all, and I will keep a lookout for the video, and I will hopefully see many of you in the stream next Saturday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Oh, I guess he's in there with Kevin right now. He found Ichigo. Well, take good care of him.